Pilipinas Live is the home of Philippine volleyball. Watch your favorite volleyball leagues such as Spikers Turf, Premier Volleyball League, and the UAAP, all in one app. You can watch all these games and more live and on your preferred device. Download Pilipinas Live today from the App Store or Google Play Store and register for free.
How much do we love Pinoy sports? As a fan, we don't just watch the games.
This season for me, and I just owe it all to the work I put in.
We watch every part, every angle, every name. We talk about the plays. Talk about it for days. We witness the big events, the thrilling moments, and relive the best seconds. We cherish the fears, the tears, at syempre, the cheers. How much do we love Pinoy sports? With all our heart, all-out passion. All the time. All with Pilipinas Live. Ang app natin para sa sports natin.
Pilipinas Live is the home of Philippine volleyball. Watch your favorite volleyball leagues such as Spikers Turf, Premier Volleyball League, and the UAAP, all in one app. You can watch all these games and more live and on your preferred device. Download Pilipinas Live today from the App Store or Google Play Store and register for free.
How much do we love Pinoy sports? As a fan, we don't just watch the games.
This season for me, and I just owe it all to the work I put in.
We watch every part, every angle, every
Commissioner's Cup basketball continues at the Inares Center in Antipolo City. The night sky has fallen in, of course, but the action's still hot inside this stadium as we see the two teams getting ready para makipagbakbakan sa ating pangalawang laro sa ating doubleheader sa araw na ito. Nanalo na ang SMB kontra sa NLEX. Napakagandang laro kanina lang. Ngayon naman maglalaban, isang matinding labanan na naman. Magnolia Chicken Timplados Hotshots makakatapat ang Converge FiberXers in what could be another stellar ball game dito sa ating conference. I'm Charlie Cuna together with the Dean, Kinito Henson. You look at Converge's record, Magnolia's record, pwedeng mas maganda yan eh. Mas malalakas yung mga lineup nila than what they've been showing so far, Dean. So, we expect a good one.
Well, yung Converge, remember they had a 5-game losing streak. Nakabalik sila. They managed to beat Titan in their last game. Napansin natin, ang dami mga adjustment na ginawa si Coach Delta. And I think that adjustment we're gonna see more of in this game. Especially yung angat ng second unit ng Converge. Because that second unit, and we'll talk about that as the game progresses, is probably as formidable as their first unit.
Let's check out where they are in the standings so far after the earlier game today. Na-adjust na namin yan. Andun sa may ibaba, second half, bottom half, itong dalawang koponan.
When you Converge 2 and 5, ang objective nila ngayon is just to be able to break into the top 8. Forget about the top 4. At the moment, they just want to be able to make sure that they're in the quarterfinals. And, you know, for Magnolia, they also need to be able to step it up. Their record is 3 and 4. If they win here, they'll be able to breach that 500 mark, and that's something that's very important para sa kanila. They need to be able to square their record to 4-4.
Yeah, they came off a loss against Barangay Ginebra, but then faced an importless San Miguel squad and made that full advantage of that na nawala yung reinforcement. Ito yung mga numero sa game na yan.
Magnolia led by 26 points in this game. Sabi mo nga, walang import ang San Miguel. They took advantage. However, they lost the battle for offensive rebounds. They also had more turnovers. So in spite of the fact that walang import ang San Miguel, Magnolia still struggling in terms of rebounding. They're last place in rebounding. And also in second chance points, the same thing. They're last place in that department in the conference. So Magnolia, they need to be able to address those deficiencies in this game.
And para sa Converge naman, yung uling laban nila, kami rin ni Dadin ganito ang nag-cover niya. Nagwagi sila kontra sa Titan in a big way, 103-82 in that ball game. So looking to get back on track after you said 5 straight losses.
Field goal percentage nila was 48%. Now Converge, in the 2 games that they've won so far, they've been able to hit 49.4% from the field. And that means when they're winning, that their offense is flowing. This is an offense-minded team. They like to score over 100 points for their wins. Magnolia naman is a very defense-oriented team.
So makikita natin yung matchup na yan. Pero in the meantime, puntahan natin si DJ Rob Evangelista. He's the venue announcer today here at Inares. He's going to call it the starting fives for coaches Delta Pineda and L.A. Tenorio.
At guard, the 2026 PBA All-Star Rookie and Sophomore MVP, number 30, Jerome Lastimosa. At forward, a second-generation PBA player and member of the 2018 All-Defensive Team, wearing jersey number 19, Rome De La Rosa. At guard is a 2-time Finals MVP, playing his 638th consecutive game, the Coffee Prince number 14, Mark Barroca. At forward, a member of the 2026 PBA All-Star North Champion Team, wearing jersey number 22, the Xavier Lucero. And at center, bringing size, experience, and strength, wearing jersey number 12, Clint Chapman. Head coach of Magnolia is L.A. Tenorio. And now, let's meet the starting five for your Converge FiberXers. Starting at guard from Quezon City, number 1, Juan Gomez del Llano. The other guard from Naga City, Camarines Sur, number 10, Mikey Williams. At center is the FiberXers import, number 7, Kylor Kelly. At forward is the second round, 21st overall pick in the PBA 46th season draft. From Dumaguete, number 12, Alex Tugton. And at forward is the PBA 47th season Rookie of the Year. From Basud, Camarines Norte, number 15, Justin Arana. Head coach of the FiberXers is Delta Pineda. Game officials are Romel Gruta, Bing Oliva,
Yan ang ating mga opisyalis sa laban nito. Romel Gruta, Bing Oliva, Jerry Narandan, and the youngster Cherwil Solon. So very veteran crew for this game. Ito yung mga lineups natin to start the game for Magnolia and Converge respectively. Jumping it up at center are the imports. Kylor Kelly at 7 feet, about 6'10". Si Clint Chapman. And here we go. Chapman is able to recover after it was tipped by someone else. Pwede naman yan.
Johnny, no surprises in the starting lineups of both teams. Exactly the same starting lineups that they used in the previous games where they won. And by the way, both teams also have started 9 players sa kanilang roster. So they're going deep down the bench to find their starters.
Clint Chapman immediately releases a 3-pointer a bit short to start the attempts in this ball game. Here come the white shirts. Juan Gomez del Llano is on Converge, and of course his brother, kuya niya, si Javi, is with Magnolia. We will see him a little bit later on. Here's Mikey Williams, Barroca there to guard him. Of course, you get one of the best guards to play against one of the best offensive players. Arana, sinusubukan ni Urong si Chapman, couldn't do it, and Chapman held his ground sa play na yun.
That's a tough matchup, but they wanted the isolation 1-on-1. Arana against Chapman, that's not going to work. I I think Chapman is too lengthy for Arana, even if Arana might have a little bit of advantage in terms of heft.
That's short on the part of Baroka. Two short field goal attempts for Magnolia to start this ball game.
Ang check out kung sino ang bumabantay sa imports. It's Lucero against Kelly. And Mikey Williams getting free. Not there.
Arana
wide
gets the
open.
offensive rebound. Ngayon, easy shot yun. Wala man ng challenge.
Chapman has to do a better job of recognizing kung saan pupunta yung bola for off the offensive glass sa kalaban.
Lastimosa able to get that pass. He gets into the lane, spins around, puts it up. Binin ang kanyang layup. Stockton gets that tap.
Converge looking to speed up the tempo. Then they wait for Kelly to post up. There you go.
Kelly will draw a foul against Chap. I was talking to Chapman before one of their games earlier this conference. He said, you can call me Clint, you can call me Chap. Just don't call me Clinton because it's only my mother who calls me Clinton.
Oh,
Yan ang
okay.
sabi niya. So bawal ang Clinton. Hindi naman tayo
Okay,
nanay.
Clint. Parang Clint Eastwood.
Oo.
Now, kanina kasasabi ko lang that the imports are not really defending each other. But that time, napilitan si Chapman to try to stop Kelly. But Kelly, very, very quick to the basket.
Missing that first free throw. We'll turn it over to Eileen Shee.
Charlie and Dean, magandang gabi sa inyo. It has been a virtual do or die for Converge since the last game according to Coach Franco Atienza. Kaya naman going into today, there is still pressure to get the W so they can keep their playoff dreams alive. Admittedly, Coach Franco says that they are still in the process of working on their familiarity given the lack of a preseason due to Gilas and all-star commitments of multiple players. And while there have been improvements, the challenge is expediting that learning curve. Ika nga ni Coach Franco, there is no other way but to go through it. And against Magnolia, ang magiging importante is making sure in sync ang kanilang depensa so they could build on their latest win. Balik sa inyo.
Maraming salamat, Eileen, at magandang gabi din sa iyo. I know you've been here since much, much earlier. Here's Clint against Kyler. And you know, there's a first. Oh, I thought it was going to be a basket for Clint, but it rolled out. And how many times, you know, how often do we see two Caucasian imports facing each other at the post here in the PBA? Doesn't happen that often.
Not very often. That's a rarity. Here's a jump shot galing kay Stockton.
That's another miss. So medyo mas mababa ang porsyento na magkabi ng koponan to start this ball game. 2-0 para ating score. Almost 3 minutes into this game. I think the last time we saw big players at the post of Caucasian descent, that was Cameron Krutwig against Rakosevic, also of Magnolia at the time. And another miss on the Magnolia side, Dean.
Nagkaroon ng mismatch because of the switch. But Chapman was not able to connect from close distance.
The jumper of Stockton will drop. It just decided not to fall into the basket. So 2-0 pa rin ang ating score as Jerome Lastimosa brings it up against Juan.
Kanina nakita natin, Magnolia looking to get the ball in the hands of De La Rosa for that mismatch against Mikey Williams.
Ayun na.
But Chapman getting the shot.
Mid-range para kay Chapman. He has shown that nice touch.
What you like about Chapman is his efficiency. This guy is hitting 50.7% from 2 and 56.3% from 3.
The bounce to Arana, masikip, but Arana gets the ball, kicks to Mikey, who on his way to the basket, step out of bounds. Yung buwelo na yan from that corner. There's really not much space over there.
At doon natin nakita the ferocity of the defense ng Magnolia and forcing Converge to go outside because they didn't have a shot from inside. Nabanggit na natin, Magnolia is a very defense-minded team. This team is number 2 in defense, number 1 in paint points allowed, number 2 in assists allowed.
Rome puts it up from three-point land. Almost got it, but popped out. Here's Stockton. Puro blue ang kanyang kaharap. And then jostling for position. They're going to call a foul against the defensive player, Rome De La Rosa, against Kyler Kelly.
His first down, 2 shots.
Now, very clearly, Kelly has to be more focused in getting points. You know, he's not just the second leading scorer ng Converge. He's actually the 4th leading scorer. Can you believe 3 locals are outscoring him in the ladder of Converge? So he's got to be more active, got to be more of a threat offensively para sa Converge.
Chapman blocked that drive. He's going to get it on that roll. Too deep. Wanted to go to Zave. Trying to get it back, but Mikey pulls that one away. Ito na ang Converge. Atake. Si Mikey gets stopped in pop. Instead, he goes inside to Orana. Ando Jerome to stop him. And then the save at the baseline by Zave Lucero.
That defense, again, very unforgiving by Magnolia. And they have a chance now to retaliate. Hindi pumasok.
I don't know. I want to check the rims. I want to check the rims, Dean, because shots are popping out. Akala mo pasok na. Lumalabas pa rin.
Here's Kelly.
Here's Mikey. Mikey always a threat. Locked
Oh,
it!
what a dunk!
You know,
I didn't expect that.
you've got big hands and leaping ability. That was pretty easy for Kyler Kelly.
I'm sure na pagsabihan yan ni Coach Delta. You gotta be more of a threat offensively, and that time, he went close to the basket. Mikey with a brilliant pass.
I believe the pass was not on point, but then Kyler reached back and got it. Bumawi naman si Chapman. You can have your dunk, Mr. Kelly, but I'm going to take a three-pointer and knock it down.
You know, he's hitting 10 out of 17 three-pointers in this conference, and that's more than 56%.
Oh, Chapman was outside to pagtapik ni Zave Lucero. Mikey Williams was looking for a foul, but no, that was overmatched on that drive. But here, watch this. He just throws it up, and then
With a one hand,
yeah, Kelly
a
reaches
sweeping
back.
motion.
See, he had to get it over Zave Lucero.
And this time, yung retaliation naman galing kay Chapman, that's a three-pointer.
That's brought to us by Rita Plus Sportsbook. Outside shot from Juan doesn't go. Here come the blue shirts. Up by one, looking to extend. Almost halfway through quarter one ng ating laban. Baroka dinala sa may gitna. Kick to Rome. Now with Zave. Zave and Arana. Then Rome will drop it back to Xavier, who'll go baseline, stretch it up. Can't hit the layup, ngunit na-foul siya. Tutungo siya sa linya para sa dalawang free throws. Zave Lucero. Just past the halfway point. 5:53 remaining in the first period. A timeout is called by Magnolia. Timeout brought to us by Solaire Online. Play the game your way on Solaire Online Sportsbook.
Live here at the Inara Center in Antipolo for the 50th season of the PBA Commissioner's Cup. Dahil nangunguna nga ang Magnolia pagdating sa field goal percentage at pangalawa naman pagdating sa points allowed. Para kay Coach L.A. Tenorio, it's all about translating this statistical potential into getting more wins. Kaya naman with nearly a week to prepare, Coach L.A. acknowledged that his team is slowly sinking into the way he would like them to play. But he would also like to fine-tune specifics on both ends of the floor. Ika nga niya, offensively, turnovers ang nagiging problema namin, attributing 20% to familiarity but the rest to carelessness and poor decision-making. Pagdating naman sa depensa, it is the offensive rebounding na effort lang naman daw ang kailangan. Both these just reflect his message. Every possession is important and it is implicit na yan ang kanilang aalagaan against Converge. Balik sa inyo.
Well, so far we can't gauge if they're executing those things. Maaga pa sa ating laro. 1 out of 2 lamang sa linya.
That's a very rare miss. For Lucero, he's shooting 92.6% from the line before this contest.
Here's Mikey against Baroka. Mikey goes around that screen, shoves Baroka away, creates some space, but can't put it in. Ball hits the floor, and De La Rosa is the one who retrieved it.
Magnolia doing a good job of limiting those attempts on Converge, just one at a time. And they've been able to control the rebounds.
Chapman to the hoop. Throw it up, missed. Nandun si Zay, but the putback, he babied that one. So really the percentages shooting-wise are poor in the first quarter so far. Juan Gomez de Leaño will walk into a 3 and put that one in.
That's his first attempt.
Zave Lucero goes over to Baroka. Now they're trailing by 1. Chapman. Lastimosa with 10 on the shot clock will get into the paint. Give it to Zaid, who will drive. Chapman steps back for 3. He can't get it to go, and there's a foul on the rebound play. And it's going to be on Converge. Let's watch this three-pointer from Juan. That's brought to us by Arena Plus Sportsbook. And as Calvin Abueva checks into the game, maybe we can look at the dean's list para sa kanyang koponan.
Well, for Magnolia, unang-una, make this a defense-oriented game. And their objectives, limit Converge to less than 100 points and less than 45% shooting. You want to wear down Chapman because this guy is 37 years old, but he's a terror in terms of efficiency. And then finally, you need to engage the bench. Magnolia is only number 11 in terms of bench points. They need a lot more points from the second unit. And by the way, very short ang rotation ng Magnolia. They've got 3 players who are logging at least 30 minutes a game and only 5 logging at least 20 minutes. And for Converge naman, sila may tanga ng bola. I think they need to attack the interior, put the interior defenders ng Magnolia into some kind of pressure and foul trouble, force Magnolia to play one-on-one, and then they need to crash the boards because that is Magnolia's weakness. Napanggitan natin yung kanina, Magnolia's last place in rebounding, last place in second chance points.
That jumper doesn't make it para kay Mark Baroka, one and done. They're good defensive rebounding on the part of Converge. MJ Garcia with a splendid game against Titan, passes over to Abueva, who was the best player of that game.
You're seeing a lot of second unit players very early para sa Converge. And Coach Delta likes to use Concepcion and MJ Garcia together.
Policarpio's runner doesn't hit it from that baseline. Lucero pulls it down. Magnolia looking to re-grab the lead. 7-6 pa lamang ang ating score. 3 minutes and 20 na lang natitira. Baroka inside to save. A bump, basket, and a possible 3-point play for Xavier.
Quick passing. There's a reason kung bakit Magnolia is number 2 in assists in the league at 24.1 dimes a game. Ito na baga, but that was a nice, nifty pass sa loob given to Lucero. Yung bola lumabas na, but they found a way to get the ball inside the shaded area. Now Chapman is going to sit down. So Magnolia now playing importless. And same thing with Converge.
All Filipino na labanan natin with 3:19 to go here in the first quarter. Bonus free throw para kay Xavier Lucero. Napasok na yan. So he's 2 out of 3 from the line. And the lead is 9-7. Low scoring.
And this is completely the second unit na sinasabi natin ng Converge. An all-Kapampangan team. Baltasar is now playing along with MJ, Archie, Abueva, and Policarpio. Here we go with Baldi.
Against sa Kapampangan as well. Ian Sangala. So 6 sila na Kapampangan na nasa sahig on the floor right now.
And Ian Sangala called for that personal foul.
He's not happy. Neither is his coach, Elay Tenorio. Timeout has been brought to us by Soler Online. Play the game your way on a Soler Online Sportsbook. Magbabalik kami.
Ikaw ba, alam mo ang tap-tap send at gumagamit ka ba ng tap-tap send?
Yes, tap-tap send ang ginagamit ko kapag nagpapadala ka sa Pilipinas. Kakapadala ko lang last.
Si Xavier Lucero has been one of the top performers for Magnolia this season. He had 11 points and 7 boards, 4 assists as well kontra sa San Miguel doon sa huling laban nila. Actually, yung numbers na yan, very modest pa yan para kay Xavier Lucero. We've seen him do much better than that. But he is an up-and-coming star as a big man. Can do everything, shoot from the outside, drive in the lane, plays great defense as well with his length and leaping ability.
And he's a leading local scorer for Magnolia. Chapman actually leads the scoring parade.
course, we recall that Chapman was not the first choice. Pangatlo na nga siya para sa Magnolia. First guy didn't even get to play, si Suarez. Biglang si Omot ang dumating. Then after a couple of games, they replaced him as well. Look at MJ Garcia on the turnaround jumper off the timeout. So, sabla na tayo. 9-all ang ating score. Pinahihirapan ng Converge. Pagtawid, Chris Kuhn finally gets it across.
That's a trap defense that Coach Delta likes to use with that second unit. Kasi ang kulit nila. Especially MJ at saka si Archie.
Right. Very quick in that backcourt.
And then you've got Calvin Abueva.
Oh, look at that. Bigyan kulit. Pero mas makulit si Lee. Got it back. Hand to Horste from half court. And that's nothing but board. And so the 24-second
shot clock
violation.
violation. Nakakuha ng offensive rebound doon si Lucero, but naubos na yung kanilang shot clock.
We love the awareness of Paul Lee, but then he just had to throw it up too hard.
And that's because of that very pesky trap defense. Now Converge all the way from the backcourt with MJ and si Archie.
He'll take another one. That's 2 in a row out of MJ Garcia. That's the pride of Systems Plus College Foundation. Si MJ.
Matetesting dito yung second unit naman ng Magnolia, but there's an outside shot.
That's a 3 from Zaves.
He's still from that first unit.
Just a minute and 40 remaining in the first. Calvin Abueva now with the ball. Used to play with Magnolia. This is his first three-point attempt. He had 4 of those sa laban nila kontra sa Titan.
And he was the best player in that contest.
That's right.
And you can't fault Abueva taking that shot because he's a 62.5% shooter from 3. Ang taas nun.
Oh, look at that. That footwork from Ian Sangala, one of the best in the biz for many years now dito sa PBA.
Oh, that footwork is exceptional for Ian Sangala. He certainly knows how to maneuver his way close to the basket.
Look at the way they're battling Baltazar and Sangala. Now it's Abueva and Lucero. Abueva the semi-hook. Left it short. Save another rebound. Magnolia looking to add on with less than a minute remaining. The trailer Zave. And then the drive, and he might have clipped Abueva on the face as he drove to the basket. Abueva will be called for the foul. He's on the...
Well, there's no call in that.
Knee. Yeah, he's on his knee. And
yeah, no call in that contact, but he's still down.
Referee Oliva comes over to check. So does the medical staff. Nakalmot ba? Tuhod siko daw, sabi niya. Watch it as Save drives. Watch that right elbow. There you go. Grazed him on the face.
Lucero checks back, or actually goes back to the bench.
So Yukian Andrada has now entered the game.
All second unit players on the floor for both squads.
Oh, great pass!
Easy,
just
easy.
over the hands of Baltazar. The 6'7" Baltazar just almost got it. Just one more inch, perhaps. Abueva the drive. And he draws a foul against Andrada.
Very offense-minded. That's his third attempt in this contest. Kapapasok lang ni Abueva. He took his first shot from three-point distance, but his last 2 were attacks close to the basket. That's where he needs to be. He needs to put pressure on those interior defenders ng Magnolia.
Puts in the first free throw. Abueva, you know, he's probably just a little over 6 feet. But he plays big. He has been doing that for many years sa ating liga. Lumalaban sa rebound yan.
You know, kanina we mentioned that Chapman's 37 years old. This guy's 38 years old.
Kuya ni Chapman si Calvin.
Oh.
Paul Lee, somewhere there as well, right?
Let's not forget. Yeah. Let's not forget, Mark Baroka is going to turn 40 next week.
So I think Paul Lee's in the high 30s too. Yun yung mga
you need veterans.
Yeah,
you need veterans with their experience to stabilize your team. But you're also seeing the influx of young players coming from the draft.
So much. These past 2 seasons din. Grabe yung pasok ng mga bagong players.
And I can just imagine how many more young blood will come in the next draft. Because tama-tama, January of 2027 when PBA conducts his next draft, all the UAP NCAA players will be available. And plus, those seniors from the UAP last season, they'll also be available. There's Concepcion.
Concepcion with that three-pointer closes the gap, cuts it down to just 3. Last shot time for Magnolia. He didn't pick up new scoring here in the past couple of minutes. Kuhn have to take it. That's a 4 if it goes.
Oh, yes!
And it goes!
Oh, what a big basket. Kuhn. And they're going to count that for sure. They will check the clock to make sure that it was taken within time, but I thought it was.
Abueva was
A big
upset
one.
about something.
Ito, makikita natin. That's a 4-point shot. Chris Kuhn beating the shot clock, beating the buzzer for the first quarter.
So it's a 7-point edge para sa Magnolia at the end of 1 here at the United Center in Antipolo City. Second quarter action sa aming pagbabalik.
Ikaw ba, alam mo ang tap-tap send at gumagamit ka ba ng tap-tap send?
Yes, tap-tap send ang ginagamit ko kapag nagpapadala ka sa Pilipinas. Kakapadala ko lang na.
About to begin quarter 2 here at United Center in Antipolo. I'm Charlie Cuna together with the Dean Quinito Henson with Eileen Shi at courtside. Calvin Abueva trying to get his team going as they trail by 7 entering here. MJ has played really well. He's got the ball right now. Pupunta kay Paulie, bagsak si Paul Lee. And now they're gonna call it on Calvin who tells referee Solon, ikaw kanina may mga tawag akong gusto, hindi mo tinatawag. Ngayon ako, tinawagan mo. Peter Alfaro has entered the ball game at the point guard position for Magnolia. Just some of that young talent you were saying, you know, for many of the teams now sa Liga din, si Peter Alfaro nandyan, si Yuken Andrada, kanina nakita natin, Zave Lucero, Chris Kuhn nandyan na rin. Paul Lee.
Napapag-usapan natin yung second unit of both these teams. And there's an outside shot coming from Yuken Andrada now. 13 out of the 25 points of Magnolia have come from players off the bench. Usually, hindi nakakasahan niya ng Magnolia. But, you know, with Coach L.A. Tenorio, you can expect the unexpected. He's now motivating the second unit players to get the job done. And it looks like there will be a foul. Malaking baga yung bench production ng Magnolia. Nabanggit natin yun, how important it is for them to engage the second unit. And yung tira ni Yuken. This guy was a first-round draft choice, 6th overall.
That's right.
In the last draft.
That three was brought to us by Arena Plus Sportsbook. He was doing that even in the finals
Yeah.
of the NCAA.
At hinintay ng Magnolia si Andrada because during the draft, he was still committed to Zambeda.
Right.
They waited for him to graduate, and now he's in the PBA.
He's been knocking down threes. I remember right, his first shot that he made here in the PBA was a 3. Paul Lee on the floor, up ahead to Chris Kuhn. The fake, then he's blocked. Stuffed by Policarpio. That's a La Sala Ateneo matchup right there. Ball straight into Paul Lee. And then they lose the ball as well. Referees are letting them play.
Policarpio is still down.
Kuhn will take a 3. That's another 3.
Wow. Bench players are exploding for Magnolia.
Siyam na puntos na para kay Chris Kuhn kasi 4 na siya. Tapos patres pa ngayon. And then he's got 9 in total and Policarpio holding on to his rib cage. This is the stuff. He got it. Huling. And Kuhn not even gonna complain. Oh, and somebody got called for a technical. Is it Jonel Policarpio? For disrespectfully addressing the official.
Technical free throw by Paul Lee.
I guess he felt, si Policarpio felt na may foul dapat.
He got hit. Paul Lee is at the line. Momentarily, ibabalik ni Coach Delta, si Mikey Williams. They need some firepower.
Lumaki yung lamang eh.
Yeah, by the way, we noticed, maagang pinaupo si Alex Stockton ng Converge. We don't see him back on the floor, but Policarpio is now being changed.
Well, we've seen it, how effective, as you said, Garcia and Concepcion can be together.
Now they're,
They
there's a
wanted to go.
deflection.
Ito na si Balti. Medyo nahihirapan. Andun yung blue shirt. Ang kulit ng depensa ng Magnolia. You can see the swarming defense. 3 or 4 guys blitzing the player with the ball.
Well, also they're realizing that Balti needs to put the ball on the floor because he has now possession at the low post. And when he puts the ball on the floor, you can expect someone to try to swipe it.
Alfaro babato ng 4. Off target yan. Kukunin na ng white shirts ito. Arana will pick it up. Try to drive into the paint. Kick it to MJ. Easy layup at the baseline.
Garcia with a quick 2 points.
First hirit ng Convergent dito sa second quarter.
Tama yun. And Converge now playing with Arana at saka si Baltasar together. Now we saw that combination prove effective in the Philippine Cup. But with the import still sitting on the bench. And there's Paul Lee with the incursion inside.
Nice feed mula kay Ian. Saan ka lang inantay niyang maka-release si Bolly bago niya dinap. Cross court to Mikey. Couldn't take the 3. Balti is there. He'll take the 3. That won't make it. A nice inside position for Sangalang na out-rebound niya. Si Arana.
Magnolia looking very, very good. And what's more impressive, outside of their bench scoring, is the way that they've held Converge to only 17 points. Napagit na natin yan how important it is to make this a defense-oriented game.
Oh, Paul Lee creating space, but I think he's going to get called for a loose ball foul. Referee Solon catching him shove off on that play. You know, the first couple of games ng Magnolia sa conference na ito din, hindi nga nakakalaro masyado si Baroka at si Sangalang. And I think somewhere along the way, Coach LA realized he still needs these guys. They need to be there. Eileen, you have something for us?
Charlie, indeed, with the way they have been playing, ang bili ni Coach L.A. Tenorio is on transition, they need to take a man, and this is the man in front of them because they are looking for a cross match. Pagdating naman sa opensa, ang bilin lang ni Coach L.A. with this new read and react system is to wait for Ian and trust that he will make good decisions for the team. As for Converge, Coach Raiko Toroman just wants to address the one-on-one plays that have been erased, stating that is the reason why wala silang option. So they need to move the ball and increase the pace. Balik sa inyo.
We'll see if they're going to do that as we see Rarana dropping into the baseline. Duck number 2 para kay Kyler Kelly, this time with 2 hands.
And coming in from behind. Nagulat doon ng Magnolia. Well, Chapman is sitting on the bench, but he will be checking back in momentarily. And you don't want Kelly to start hitting those dunk shots on the post.
Javi Gomez Deliano takes the jumper too strong. So the brothers are on the floor at the same time now. The Gomez Deliano brothers. Hindi lang sila nagbabantayan. Well, right now, binabantayan nga ni Javi. Si Juan, pero hindi nabantayan. Si Justin Arana, nakabasket na.
Now, this is the second unit of Converge back on the floor. But at Magnolia, they're still staying with a lot of second unit players. And LA Tenorio, 17 second unit points for Magnolia against only 8 for Converge. That's been a big difference. Ayun, nakita natin yung galaw.
That's how strong,
Arana.
that's how strong Arana is. You know, si Yukian Andrada obviously goes to the gym. He's got some bulk as well, but ito si Arana is just much bigger.
And the last 2 baskets scored by Converge have come from inside the shaded area. So they've been attacking the interior. And how important that is for Converge to put pressure on the inside defenders ng Magnolia. Ito na si Arana will get the basket, so that's a 3-point play.
He's got 5 in the game. 9-point lead for Magnolia. 8 minutes and 20 remaining. Baroka goes to Javi. Now Zave almost lost it. Buti lang mahabang arms. Nakuha over that line. Chapman kicks it to Javi. Javi back in the middle. Goes over to the left, to the right side. Chris Kuhn left that layup short. Mikey running. Lobs it for Kyler. The
That's gonna be a foul.
Yeah, is foiled by Chap. Problem is may foul na kasama yon.
And Kelly really looking to score.
That's his second foul.
Well, he's set up properly, you know.
Yeah.
If that wasn't Chapman, it was a local player, that would have been another alley-oop.
But Mikey Williams giving up the ball, playing the role of facilitator rather than just a plain shooter. Ito si Kelly. Missing the
That's
shot.
0 of 3 from the line. Eileen, may kwento na naman si Eileen sa atin din.
Charlie and Dean with Kyler Kelly having played with multiple big names in the PBA, nakasanayan na daw niya that he is more of a role player, just deferring to stars in the game. He is taking that approach here in the PBA dahil ika nga ni Kyler, with the multiple offensive weapons in my team, I know it's just best to stick to my role, bringing the defensive presence and clearing the boards. Now, Coach Franco is aware of this limitation. He has also verbalized that it is different here in the Philippines dahil iisa lang siyang import. Kaya naman sang-ayon din si Coach Franco saying that he can continue playing the way he has been as long as the locals are producing. Balik sa inyo.
Thanks a lot, Eileen. 3 from Zabe misses. That is Rogue Ganarofa, and that will be a goaltend on Kyler Kelly. I don't think they even have to review that. Well, they
That's a
will.
good call. That was a goaltending very clearly.
Yeah, they will review it just because they have to. But I think there's no question about it.
You see that weak side rebounding Magnolia. A little bit too late in challenging that shot.
Oh, we could be wrong. I don't know. We'll see. No, we always leave it up to the guys who actually decide these things.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
That's a close
on,
call.
on slow-mo, suddenly it
Yeah,
looks...
that's a close call. We thought it was a clear goaltend, but that ball might have been still on the way up.
From where we're sitting, it really looked goaltending for sure. Pero Bing Oliva is reviewing it with Noel Gilligan. Okay, they're saying it's
Yeah,
a goal.
it is
Goaltending
goaltending.
basket counts for Rome De La
But
Rosa.
that was a close call. They had to take several looks at different angles. Yeah, pababa na nga. See that
yeah.
the ball was on
So-
the way, slightly on the way down.
That's why we need all these angles that we have. Kaya naman kaya i-review ng maayos yan. But it will count, so it's back to a 10-point lead for Magnolia. And that's why we, with our naked eye and in real time, cannot make these determinations, Dean. Here's Mikey. Now Juan, guarded by Kuya Javi. And then he gives it up to Arana. To the corner, Alex Stockton for 3.
Good ball movement. But you also see that Magnolia was taking a gamble in doubling the man with the ball. Kanya umikot yung ball ng Converge, they found the open guy.
Yung sinabi ni Coach Eileen kanina sa report niya, kailangan iikot daw yung bola.
Yeah.
Kaya yun ang ginawa nila. Javi looking for his shot in this conference, gets it to drop! I'm sure he's gonna feel really good about that because his shot has been really off in all their games. So, good young. Now he's trying to keep up with his younger brother. He passes it over to Stockton. 2 in a row. Nope. Easy rebound for Zave.
Very good box out. Kelly was in no position to get the offensive rebound. Lucero and Chapman doing a good job of boxing out Kelly.
Bounce inside the
that's a
Chap.
nice seal.
And that's an easy layup on that thread.
Easy 2 points.
Naramdaman ni Chapman, nandito yung kalaban niya.
Yeah.
Yung spin sa agad towards the hoop.
And you know, they're making that play possible. Kanya nakakawala si Chapman is because they're forcing the switches. And when there's a switch on the mismatch, Chapman is very quick to seal.
Inside to Arana. He's got Chapman on him. You try to back him down. Hook shot is there. Napasabit na naman niya. Si Clint Chapman.
And that's foul number 3.
That's right.
On Chapman.
Pangatlo na nga yan kay Chapman. That's gonna make LA Tenorio have to make a decision right now. In the meantime, there's a timeout. It's brought to us by Soler Online. Play the game your way on Soler Online Sportsbook. We're at the Inaris Center But the fans are enjoying this game so far in the first half. 37-26 lamang ang Magnolia. 6 minutes sakto natitira sa atin second quarter. Earlier, just to repeat, San Miguel defeated NLEX in a nice one. 98-94. And best player there was Benny Boatwright, the comebacking Benny Boatwright. He had 41 points, 3 4-pointers, 11 rebounds to go with that. So maganda ang debut ni Benny Boatwright, getting them a victory, and he was the outstanding player in that game.
And in this conference, Justin Brownlee is there. He's our naturalized player. And then to be naturalized is Benny Boatwright. He's also playing the same conference. What a treat for fans. Ang mapapanood po natin, hindi lang si Brownlee pero si Boatwright din. By the way, 2 stats where Magnolia has a big advantage so far. Perimeter points, 20-11. Yung bench points na nakakagulat at 21 already bench points for Magnolia against only 10 for Converge.
Yeah, the bench guys of Magnolia today were ready when they came into this game. It's down to 9.
Yeah, and before this game, the bench of Magnolia averaging only 24.6. That's for the whole game. Ngayon, nandito tayo sa first half. Nakaka-21 na sila.
That's thrown away. Rom De La Rosa miscalculating that entry pass. It's not as easy as everyone thinks, you know, to throw in those entry passes. I mean, one of the best of throwing in before to Junmar Fajardo was Arwin Santos. Perfect lagi yung mga pasa niya sa loob for Junmar.
Now let's see what Kelly can do here with Chapman sitting on the bench with 3 personal fouls.
Arana.
And they continue to attack the inside.
He's powered up there.
Yeah, sinabi natin kanina that they want to attack the interior to put pressure on the interior defenders of Magnolia. Get them into foul trouble. That's exactly what they did. Chapman with 3 personal fouls.
That's right. He's out of the game right now. Barroca will take on Arana. The jumper is a miss. Skylar Kelly, no contest sa rebound na yun. Juan into the paint, balls on the floor. Javi now heading the other way. He'll go straight. Oh!
That's a volleyball spike.
Yeah, that was.
And they kept the ball alive.
Juan over to Ryan Arana, trying to clear space. Foul downstairs, says referee Narandan. It's going to be on the blue shirts.
Kelly, what a block shot.
Wala, he anticipated it second line. Andun, oh, sorry. He probably could have taken it out of the air actually and just started bringing it to the other side. But of course, this adds a little highlight.
Parang volleyball spike. Well, you also know that this guy, si Kelly, all-time leader in block shots at Oregon State. That was the US NCAA Division I school where he played.
That's right. Here's Arana. Passes it over to Mikey. Mikey J.
Oh, that's smooth. That's a smooth shot coming from Mikey Williams with Chapman sitting on the bench. Ito na ang Converge.
That 14-point lead na yan, ha? Ngayon, 5 na lang. Para sa Magnolia, time on sa atin ng Soler Online. Play the game your way on Soler Online Sportsbook. Bit of a run mula sa Converge. Down by 14 na kanina. Biglang 5 na lang ang lamang ng Magnolia after some inside plays, some run and gun. And Mikey Williams just hit a jumper, prompting a timeout from Coach Tenorio. Anong isasagot ng Magnolia with 4:45 remaining sa ating first half. The scoring has picked up a little bit. It was only 22-15 at the start. At the first quarter, biglang Converge nasa 32 na. So they've outdone their first quarter output already.
And this is not Magnolia's game. Kanina it was because it was very low scoring. Pero ngayon, umangat ang opensa ng Converge and there's going to be a foul. Sandali, ano yun?
Oh, Zave and Juan, and the referee leaps into the middle, and
Yeah.
Zave and Juan are shaking their heads like, what? We're not gonna fight. Come on.
They call the foul on Juan Gomez de Leaño.
Pero after what happened kasi early in the season, medyo nagsapakan. Yung mga referees natin, extra cautious na ngayon. Talagang pipigilin nila agad.
Good to be careful,
Yes.
but let's not be too over careful.
Yeah.
It takes away the excitement of the game. It's not a knock on the referees. Oh,
Open lane.
wide open. Oh,
left
maybe
foot
that
short.
shot.
Super. Dalawang beses na yan. Kanina si Lucero, ngayon naman si Lastimosa.
Para may offensive rebound dito at Magnolia. A good sign despite the fact na wala si Champion sa loob.
Baroka trying to lose Arana. He can't do that. Now it's Lastimosa in the paint. Layup. It's good.
Yes.
At the buzzer.
That's a big time shot coming from Lastimosa.
They needed it kasi nga 5 na ang kanilang lamang ngayon. Balik na sa 7.
Lastimosa is just such a speedster on the floor. He's like a running motor.
Mikey
see
against
Mikey.
Rome. Wants to take on him. Tries to drive. But I think he forgot that Rome's one of the best defenders in the league. Baroka.
And he was doing a good job as a facilitator kanina. But that time, redeeming himself with a steal.
Sigip ng pasa
Ito,
ni...
tumatakbo.
There you go.
Nice
Easy
extra
layup.
pass.
That's right. That's right. He could have taken it himself. Pero andun na rin si Stockton mas open kasi sa kanya. So,
And remember, Converge had 25 assists in that win over Titan. You know, I was having a conversation with Magnolia assistant coach, si Kirk Collier, and he was saying that from his stats, 81% of the time when teams win in the PBA, it's because the team will have more assists. And you know that Kirk Collier is over there in the Magnolia staff.
can't believe that. We've seen the effective teams, those that win, especially deep into the playoffs, yung mga malakas pumasa-pasa,
Yes.
nanghanap ng mga open man.
And may correlation yung yung assist at saka yung field goal percentage.
Right.
Kung mataas ang field goal percentage mo, malamang marami kang assists.
So it's the jump ball, Zave and Justin. Pinapaayos ni referee na rin. Get your feet out of that circle, guys. Except for the 2 guys jumping it up. They're the only guys who could be inside the circle. Magnolia wins out on that. Under 3 minutes to go. Sangala. Ball lead. Bit of daylight blocked away. He gets it back. Kicks it out to Sangala for 3.
Oh, yes!
And that's not the first time. Hindi na ako nagugulat. He's done that a few times this conference already.
That's the second straight time that Magnolia has been able to manufacture the shot to just barely beat the shot clock.
Right.
And that's clutch.
Williams crossover. Tira. Hit this. Would have been big. You know how they cheer whenever he hits those outside shots.
I'm surprised Converge is not going to Kelly. Who can stop Kelly at this stage?
Wala,
Chapman
hindi
is
talaga
sitting down.
He's just really not an option.
Yeah, hindi nila
And he
pinapasahan
doesn't ask for the
si
ball
Kelly.
either.
Yeah.
There's save. He'll get the ball. He's looking for the foul too. But that's a nice fight back mula sa Magnolia because it had
And
been
Coach
cut down to
Elliott
5.
must be very happy that they've been able to maintain and stretch this lead in spite of the fact that Chapman is sitting on the bench.
Buntik na maabot ni Kelly yun, but just out of his reach. Basket was good. Back to 10 and lamang. 2:11 to go here in this first half. That's Coach Raiko taking the reins on May 1. Remember, libreng ticket para sa lahat ng manggagawang Pilipino sa Smart Araneta Coliseum po yan. Go over and get your free tickets. First come, first serve. Watch a nice couple of games. That's the Tropa against the Super LPG, and then the Gin Kings against the Bolts in a matchup of recent rivalry, Meralco-Ginebra. So, ang ganda niyan. The Battle of the Dreads, the Battle of the Braided Hair. In the first game between the imports, and of course, Bol always attracts a crowd. So, James Dickey III is going to have his hands full, but he's got some skills as well.
And the fans love to watch Manute Bol play. I mean, last game, 50 points. The game before, 48 points.
Oh, nga. Sabi niya, I didn't reach it, so today I'm going to reach it.
And also, he wanted to put on a show because the South Sudan Federation President Luol Deng, a former NBA player, was in the house to watch ball manhood ball play, and he was a guest of ball.
So that Baltasar showing some speed to get to that loose ball, so they keep the possession. Rana wants to go to his partner, Balti, who goes outside to William. There's that extra pass, Stockton, drive, but misses at the end. Bagsak. Ang
That's a
dalawang
charge.
player charged pa, and Paul Lee is in pain. I think he got it in the midsection, if not lower. That's gonna hurt
Yeah,
either way.
he's still grimacing.
So they're gonna review the play.
Well, with 1:40 to go, pinupo ni Coach Delta si Kelly. And I thought they were gonna go to Kelly a lot more. Kasi foul trouble na si Chapman
That's right,
sitting
pero
on the
wala.
bench, pero hindi. But they're going with that twin tower combination of Arana at si Balti.
Let's check this replay. I hope we can show it and see exactly what happened. Paul Lee got it. Here's the drive from Stockton.
Here's Stockton moving closer. And then, yun,
Boom!
nakasipa. Oh.
Yeah.
Nakasipa si Paul Lee.
And if not for
Below
that
the
kick,
belt.
you know,
Below the belt,
that
Joe.
wouldn't have been a
Yeah.
foul on Stockton. But Stockton went up and did a karate kick.
The impact was on the groin.
Yeah.
Paul Lee's still down on the floor. Now, you only have 15 seconds.
Yeah, I know.
So,
But unless it's
Flagrant foul, penalty 1 on Alex
that's an
Stockton.
F1 on Alec.
yeah.
Whether he meant it or not,
Alex
we don't
Stockton
know.
is sitting on the bench for
But the
3
action was
minutes.
there. Tumadyak. Oh, sapol talaga si
And
Paul.
tsaka may dire consequence.
Yeah, watch this.
Watch it here.
Oh, yan
Yun.
ka.
Paul Lee going down like a sack of potatoes. And that's a good call. That is the right call. Flagrant 1. Stockton will now go to the bench for a 3-minute.
Oh, mamaya,
Sit out.
second half na natin makikita si Stockton.
Tama,
Mga
1:40
2 minutes
to go.
in. Kung sakasakali.
Malaking bagay itong ginawa ng Magnolia. Ha?
So,
They were able to stave off Converge.
and because the F1 was committed against Paul Lee is the player who needs to take the free throws, right?
Yes.
Kailangan siya.
Yes. And he will. He's looks like he's okay. Yung sinasabi natin kanina about Magnolia's objectives to keep Converge to less than 100 points and to keep them less than 45% field goal percentage. Well, just to update you on those two objectives, Converge only 34 points so far. Patapos lang ating first half. So times 2, that's only 68 points. That's way, way below 100. Plus yung field goal percentage ng Converge is only 41.9. That's also below yung quota na sinabi natin ng 45%. So that's the reason Magnolia is up ahead. Because this game is being played on Magnolia's terms, on defensive terms.
And Paul Lee hit the 2 free throws, so the lead is up to 12. And then ball possession pa ng Magnolia, so pagkakataon palakihin pa lalo ang kanilang lamang. Paul Lee stays in the game despite the blow to his groin area, which he had to shake off. It took him about 2 or 3 minutes. Here's Jerome. Goes to Rome. Rome looking for save. Sabay kick out kay Laftimosa. Drive sa lane. Ginak knife.
What a
Pasok!
shot! And we were just saying that this guy is a wizard on the floor.
He's a creator.
Yeah, he's a speedster.
14 na lamang ulit. The matches the biggest lead. Nakaagaw pa ulit ang blue shirts. Paul Lee with speed. Dropping into Rome. Balik kay Paul. Defense got down quickly, though, para mapigilan ang possible fast break.
Coach Elaine Tenorio motioning to the players to create that space in the middle for possible slashers.
Matay yung dribble ni Jerome, but he gets it
Eh,
back.
ano naman?
He'll drop it to save. Naubusan ng oras.
Not enough time.
Yeah, after he lost his dribble, he didn't check the shot clock. Had he checked it, he would have taken the basket on the drive.
Ito kanina nangyari. Taking it right down the middle was Jerome Lastimosa.
But Magnolia might get another possession. Let's see. As Juan Gomez de Lian, who's had a quiet game so far, goes to Arana, who powers his way to the hoop. And with 34 seconds remaining, timeout is used by Elaine Tenorio to map up something, get another field goal perhaps bago matapos ang half. Watch this.
What's a strong move towards the basket. Again, yung sinasabi natin yung focus ng Converge, attack the inside. Wala naman si Chapman and Kelly, and rather Arana now with 11 points in this contest.
The 2026 MBTC Tour of Luzon is back. Bigger, bolder, and tougher than ever. Local international cyclists face a grueling 14-stage battle across 13 provinces and 5 regions. 1,800-kilometer theft of endurance, speed, and strategy. Don't miss a single moment. From April 29 to May 13, catch all the action on Pilipinas Live app, also on One Sports and One Sports Plus. Tour of Luzon. Grabe yan. Iba yung lakas ng mga siklista sumasali dyan.
Arana, by the way, nabanggit natin with 11 points, 9 of those coming here in this quarter. And guess what? Binalik ni Coach Delta si Kelly with 34 seconds to go. That's to make sure that no score here for Magnolia before the half ends.
Well, Baltazar slapped that one away, pero may pito na ang ating referee. At dahil penalty na, tama ba? Oh, dahil penalty, free throws na para kay Jerome. Agad yun.
Again, yung awareness, yung mental awareness ng Converge, I don't think it was there. Giving up the foul, putting Lastimosa at the line for points while stopping the clock. Hindi naman pumasok yung unang tira ni Lastimosa.
He'll get another chance. There's going to be a substitution on the Magnolia side. Peter Alfaro is coming into the game. Mikey Williams will check into the game for Converge. He'll replace RG Concepcion.
They want to make sure that they have shooters on the floor to take the last shot. Lastimosa is an 80% shooter. And binanggit natin that there are really just 3 players from Magnolia averaging at least 30 minutes a game. That's Chapman, Lucero, and Jerome. So very shallow ang rotation dito ng Magnolia as LA Tenorio relying on those 3 to soak up a lot of minutes. Abueva back on the floor.
There's about a 1-second difference between our clocks. So Juan will hold on to it a little bit. Bago sila
13-point
dumiskarte.
lead by Magnolia.
Matatapisan kaya ng Converge yan?
Gotta make their move now.
Juan will make his move. He'll go up. Flip it up and in. May foul pa. Bonus free throw for Juan GDL.
Well, they wanted that. That was a well-planned play for Converge. Binigay nila kay Juan Gomez de Leaño on a 1-on-1 play. Umatake. And that's been the theme of Converge. Attack inside. Get to the line. Gets fouled from Magnolia. That's a 3-point play completion.
5 seconds for Magnolia to come up with something.
Pwede pa to. Here we go.
It's with Jerome.
Lastimosa. You don't want to foul
he
it.
lost the dribble. Juan
Take it up.
will take a 4.
Hindi lang pumasok.
He back rimmed it. But Magnolia still comes out. Oh, look at Jerome and Abueva. Abueva didn't like Jerome's bump on that last play. Nung umaatake ang Converge on the other side. And then Abueva doing a little bit of intimidation. Natawa lang naman si Lastimosa. So break na tayo rito sa Inares Center at the half. 10 lamang ng Magnolia.
Ikaw ba, alam mo ang tap-tap send at gumagamit ka ba ng tap-tap send?
Yes, tap-tap send ang ginagamit ko kapag nagpapadala ka sa Pilipinas. Kakapadala ko lang last.
Pilipinas Live is the home of Philippine volleyball. Watch your favorite volleyball leagues such as Spikers Turf, Premier Volleyball League, and the UAAP, all in one app. You can watch all these games and more live and on your preferred device. Download Pilipinas Live today from the App Store or Google Play Store and register for free.
How much do we love Pinoy sports? As a fan, we don't just watch the games.
The season for me, and I just owe it all to the work I put in.
We watch every part, every angle, every name. We talk about the plays, talk about it for days. We witness the big events, the thrilling moments, and relive the best seconds. We cherish the fears, the tears, at syempre, the cheers. How much do we love Pinoy sports? With all our heart, all-out passion. All the time. All with Pilipinas Live. Ang app natin para sa sports natin.
Pilipinas Live is the home of Philippine volleyball. Watch your favorite volleyball leagues such as Spikers Turf, Premier Volleyball League, and the UAAP, all in one app. You can watch all these games and more live and on your preferred device. Download Pilipinas Live today from the App Store or Google Play Store and register for free.
How much do we love Pinoy sports? As a fan, we don't just watch the games.
The season for me, and I just owe it all to the work I put in.
We watch every part, every angle, every name. We talk about the plays, talk about it for days. We witness the big events, the thrilling moments, and relive the best seconds. We cherish the fears, the tears, at syempre, the cheers. How much do we love Pinoy sports? With all our heart, all-out passion. All the time. All with Pilipinas Live. Ang app natin para sa sports natin.
Pilipinas Live is the home of Philippine volleyball. Watch your favorite volleyball leagues such as Spikers Turf, Premier Volleyball League, and the UAAP, all in one app. You can watch all these games and more live and on your preferred device. Download Pilipinas Live today from the App Store or Google Play Store and register for free.
How much do we love Pinoy sports? As a fan, we don't just watch the games.
The season for me, and I just owe it all to the work I put in.
We watch every part, every angle, every name. We talk about the plays. Talk about it for days. We witness the big events, the thrilling moments, and relive the best seconds. We cherish the fears, the tears, at syempre, the cheers. How much do we love Pinoy sports? With all our heart, all-out passion. All the time. All with Pilipinas Live. Ang app natin para sa sports natin.
Pilipinas Live is the home of Philippine volleyball. Watch your favorite volleyball leagues such as Spikers Turf, Premier Volleyball League, and the UAAP. All in one app. You can watch all these games and more live and on your preferred device. Download Pilipinas Live today from the App Store or Google Play Store and register for free.
How much do we love Pinoy sports? As a fan, we don't just watch the games.
The season for me, and I just owe it all to the work I put in.
We watch every part, every angle, every name. We talk about the plays. Talk about it for days. We witness the big events, the thrilling moments, and relive the best seconds. We cherish the fears, the tears, at syempre, the cheers. How much do we love Pinoy sports? With all our heart, all-out passion. All the time. All with Pilipinas Live. Ang app natin para sa sports natin.
Pilipinas Live is the home of Philippine volleyball. Watch your favorite volleyball leagues such as Spikers Turf, Premier Volleyball League, and the UAAP. All in one app. You can watch all these games and more live and on your preferred device. Download Pilipinas Live today from the App Store or Google Play Store and register for free.
How much do we love Pinoy sports? As a fan, we don't just watch the games.
The season for me, and I just owe it all to the work I put in.
We watch every part, every angle, every name. We talk about the plays. Talk about it for days. We witness the big events, the thrilling moments, and relive the best seconds. We cherish the fears, the tears, at syempre, the cheers. How much do we love Pinoy sports? With all our heart, all-out passion. All the time. All with Pilipinas Live. Ang app natin para sa sports natin.
Linares Center Antipolo. After 2 quarters, 10 ang namang ng Magnolia kontra sa Converge. 49-39 ang ating score. Dean, we've seen this game first. Akala natin flow ng Magnolia, low scoring. Biglang humataw itong Converge. Tapos mamaya konti naka-recover naman itong Magnolia to take this double-digit lead.
Well, only 39 points scored by Converge. So that's within the limit na sinasabi natin Magnolia has to do to keep this a low-scoring, defense-oriented game. However, yung Converge did something very good. We mentioned how important it is for Converge to wear down Chapman. And Chapman, only with 7 points in this game, someone who's averaging close to 30 points a game because of 3 personal fouls. Ito po ang ating halftime summary. In terms of field goals and percentage, Converge actually had a higher field goal percentage. But if you notice, Magnolia had 6 more attempts. Bench points has been overwhelmingly in favor of Magnolia. And the assist to turnover ratio, you see 12-7 for Magnolia compared to 10-7 for Converge. That's close as far as those ratios are concerned. But sa perimeter points, ang laki ng agwat. So same thing with bench points and perimeter points. Those are the 2 departments where Magnolia has been able to hold sway.
There's only one player in double digits. It's Justin Arana. He's got 11. And supported by Juan, MJ, and Alex Stockton on one side. Kabilang panig naman, Kuhn and Lucero have 9 apiece. Chap and Sangalang have 7 apiece for Coach L.A. Tenorio. But the important number for Magnolia, of course, is 49 compared to just 39 points.
And Charlie, hindi natin nakita yung pangalan ni Kelly among the leading scorers on Converge. As usual, you know, Kelly is not known to be a scorer. He did say that he's a role player. He'd rather just play defense, block shots, and rebound. But, you know, this is not the NBA. Kelly made it to the NBA because of his defense and shot blocking ability. That's because in the NBA, he was surrounded by a lot of terrific players who are offensive players. Remember, he played for Dallas and played for New Orleans.
Yeah.
And dito sa PBA, he's got to do a lot more than just play defense and block shots. He's got to score. And it's not enough that he's the 4th leading scorer ng Converge.
Well, he's had 2 nice dunks in that first half. An alley-oop, one-hander, and a baseline up and under jam. But nabanggit mo, may kailangan pa. Dagdagan yan. Especially because they're trailing by 10. And normally, yung import dito, as we've become accustomed to, pag import ka dito, pag kailangan ng puntos ng team mo, sa'yo talaga ibibigay yan.
Go-to guy.
And he's not that for Converge.
No, he's not the go-to guy. Especially since, as we mentioned, he's only the 4th leading scorer in the Converge. Here's an update on our Dean's list for Magnolia. 2 check mark. What expect? Yung expect nila, yung Chapman na sinasabi natin that Converge really wants to wear it down. It's been happening because of his 3 personal fouls. But check mark yung low-scoring game. Check mark yung engaging the bench. And for Converge naman, 2 X marks. They have not been able to crash the boards as they should. They have not been able to force Magnolia to go 1-on-1. Magnolia with 12 assists. But the big check mark is that they've been able to attack the interior.
That's right. And there is an attack from Chapman. About 16-foot jumper para sa kanya. So I'm practicing that at halftime. He was hitting them. So lead is up to a dozen right now, 51-39.
That's 9 points now for Chapman. As we said, he's averaging close to 30 points a game. He's a 30-10 guy. And, you know, that kind of a shot from Chapman, that's something that Kelly should try to emulate. Ito, tumatakbo.
Ron De La Rosa, too strong on that spin. Unable to finish that fast break. The effort of Lucero to get that possession, though, was all for naught.
And also the effort of Converge to get back on defense, preventing that layup.
Juan has got some size on Lastimosa, so he's going to get called for a foul, Jerome. Referee being Oliva at the baseline calls that bump from Lastimosa. Side court inbound for Converge.
Back to the usual matchups here. Imports are not defending each other.
Juan goes back to Justin Aran. Juan will take it. That's too strong. Easy rebound for Rome De La Rosa, who went after it. Ito si Barroca. Hasn't had a good shooting night. Goes baseline, can't take it from there. Outside to Gerald. He cut into the paint. Sabay atras. Now with Zave, 10 to shoot. Corner, up fake. Zave, 16-footer, short. Offensive rebound. Rome open from 3, didn't want to take it. Balik kay Barroca.
No reaction from the defensive rebounders ng Converge.
Oh! That was a kick.
Lumusot. Lumusot in between, yeah.
Kickball yun.
But there was a kickball, so reset the shot clock to 14. Magnolia will get back possession. Now you've got import versus import on that end of the floor. Kelly's defending Chapman.
The bounce to Zave. He goes up.
And he will almost score.
Yeah, he almost got the score. 2 free throws instead para kay Xavier Lucero. LA Tenorio calls him over before he takes those free throws. Little more instructions na ibinibigay. That's Juan Gomez de Leaño on your screens.
Lucero, what a tremendous upside for him. The kid's only 27 years old. And note that Magnolia's average age is 31.4.
We'll turn it over to our halftime eavesdropper in the locker room. Eileen.
Charlie and Dean, I like the connotation of halftime eavesdropper dahil ito na nga ang narinig natin at the half. With the way Magnolia has been playing, ang naging priority ng Converge at the half is making sure they are able to defend and take away the ball screen offense of Magnolia. In doing so, ang hinihingi ni Coach Carl Santos is better individual defense. While pagdating naman sa offensa, sabi ni Coach Carl, naging stagnant daw sila. Susubukan nilang gumawa ng play pero ending one-on-one pa rin. So they have to keep the ball moving and increase the level of physicality they are playing at. Pagdating naman sa Magnolia, Coach Juno Soler challenged the big, saying with Clint Chapman in foul trouble, they need to play the post early. At pagdating naman sa depensa, they have to be wary of the Converge guards and focus on making stops. Balik sa inyo.
Maraming salamat. So that's what Eileen heard. In the meantime, basket from Arana. That's the lead down to 12. Barroca to Zave. Zave's open!
Wide open. Wide open, and Arana saying that was his mistake.
Yeah, sorry agad siya. Sumenya second. Missed it. Sorry, coach. Sorry,
Hindi niya
everybody.
anticipate yung galaw ni ni Lucero.
Sumenya siya sa bench. Sorry, sabi ng mga coaches, huwag mo lang gawin ulit. Diba? Mikey. Cross court to MJ. Naki Arana ulit. Who doesn't want to shoot. Gives it up to Juan. Juan to the
that's a nice
Arana.
play.
Drops it to Kelly.
Beautiful play.
Yeah, but the extra pass. The extra pass has been working for Converge.
Yeah. They blitzed that time and they paid the price on the double team. At ang bilis ng release ng bola. They went to the extra pass to make sure that they had the best possible shot.
Gerald baseline. Ball won't drop. But Lastimosa dropped to the hard court, and Arana in an act of sportsmanship comes over para pulutin si Gerald. Watch this.
Ito, nakawala doon si Lucero, and Arana was nowhere around to stop that shot. And ito naman yung extra pass galing kay Arana.
Tsaka wala ng extra effort na ginawa si Kelly para hindi siya mapagod, di ba? Easy, just puts it in, top ring halos ang ginawa niya. It's the third dunk that he's had in this game. Stockton comes in. Juan will rest. Juan can't get those outside shots to drop.
And Converge can't seem to make any headway. They're still down by 13.
Si Stockton, pwede na kasi nga more than 2 minutes na ang lumipas dito sa second half.
Yes,
Na flagrant 1 kasi sa 3 minutes yun at about 1:40 of the first half. So that's why he was allowed to re-enter the game now. His penalty box time is over.
Garcia now playing the point guard position for Converge. Ito ang layo ni Arana. He's bringing Chapman away from him.
Kelly's not going to take it from there. MJ might. And then that's a kick on the Magnolia side. So 3 seconds na lang sana sa shot. Nag-reset sa 14 na mangyayari.
Bailout yun.
What's happening? Baltazar says hindi na. Papasok na sana si Baltazar. Tapos hindi pala. So wag na lang daw. Naguluhan yung table officials natin. Nakapwesto na si Balti.
Oh, missed the shot.
Yeah, they might review that. They might review that. And Magnolia's upset because they were running already towards the other side. Tsaka pumito yung ating referee. So you want it to be a little bit more instantaneous. No, the moment the possible violation happens, you want the referees to whistle. Dahil on the run ka na eh. Tama naman din. As we were saying it already, they might review it. Yung block shot ni Zave Lucero. So they will count.
They count the basket.
Justin Arana.
Ito yung escape
Yeah,
back.
kasi board na eh. Board na tapos.
Yep. Watch it here from a different angle.
Pak, yung tigil.
Okay, count the basket.
Another 2 points para kay Arana. So he's got 15, I think, in this game already. That's right. Back to save another one. No, fake. Row. Nice extra pass. I love these extra passes we've been seeing throughout this game so far.
And also the escape act. Nakakita natin. When you blitz, you also have to make sure that there is recovery. Because, you know, when you double team someone, especially from the outside, something's bound to happen when someone gets free.
There's someone open, for sure.
And Kelly, not able to handle the pass.
Referee, Coach Delta Pineda gets up from his seat.
He's not very happy with Kelly because he's not being a threat, and then he's losing the ball.
Pass inside to save, couldn't handle it. Chance to bring this down. It's at 12. Stockton now will attack, bounce it but lose it to Baroka.
Oh, they're trying to feed the ball to Kelly.
They are. Baroka ready.
Oh, na-anticipate ng Magnolia kung anong gagawin ng Converge. So they're being very predictable. When they try to go to Kelly, the passes are telegraphed.
Save. He's gonna get stopped. Out to Lastimosa with 2 to shoot. Jero has to put it up. He'll step back.
Papasok pa. I count 3 clutch baskets in the game so far, where Magnolia was able to beat the 24-second shot clock and made the basket.
One of them was Lastimosa earlier on the layup. So this is his second of that nature. With the second remaining, he hoists it up. 3-pointer at sa atin ng Arena Plus. Sportsbook finds the mark. And that's up to 17 all of a sudden. This timeout brought to us by Soler Online. Play the game your way on Soler Online Sportsbook.
Try to recover.
Wala tayong magagawa rito. Depensa mabawal sa atin dito. Like defense, the way, transition tayo kahit without the play. Go attack. On the way. Araw tayo on the way.
Converge needing some offense here in the third quarter. It's up to a 17-point lead, the biggest of the game.
And Coach Delta has put Kelly back on the bench. So going with an all-Filipino line, that's a looper of a shot coming from Policarpio.
And that's a miss. So an easy rebound for Chap. Here comes Baroka. He's surveying the floor. Gets to Chapman, who turns and lays it in. Especially without Kelly there, easy para kay Chapman.
That's a perfect pick and roll play.
And that's the thing, when Kelly's out, they can go to Chapman because he's offensive-minded.
Exactly, yeah. And Chapman, you know that that's a first basket lead. Baltazar and Chapman, I was saying, he's a 30-10 guy. So he knows how to play offense. He's made a living playing offense. Sabi nga niya na that interview at the half that he's played in 14 countries. Actually, bilang ko 11 lang. But anyway, giving the benefit of the doubt, that's an easy 2 points. And right now, Magnolia is just scoring at will.
That's up to 19 already, Dean. Lumalaki na masyado.
Yeah.
Pero nangangalahati pa lang naman ang ating third quarter. Lots of time to do something is Converge.
Policarpo trying to manufacture a shot. Another stop by Magnolia. And talking about stops. Magnolia, when they win, they've held their opponents to an average of 93. When they lose, opponents average 100. And that's the reason why in this game, we said Magnolia had to make sure that Converge would not score more than 100.
Rome is fouled by Stockton.
And then within that, 47 lang ang i-score ng Converge. At saka yung record ng Magnolia, nakita natin sa ating team standings, 3 and 4. That's very, very deceptive. Because in those 4 losses, ang average losing margin ng Magnolia was only 4.3 points. So any of those games that they lost could have been wins.
Correct. Agree.
Unlike Converge, yung kanilang loss margin was 10.2. Here we go.
Yep, Rome against MJ. He'll take it within ang kanyang tira. Here come the white shirts. Baltasar lofted momentarily. MJ will pick it up. Maris bobbling it. He'll make it all the
And it
way.
was goal.
Yep.
Will the
Broken
foul?
play na yun.
Yeah, basket counts.
Yeah, 3-point play opportunity. So big basket on the run mula kay MJ Garcia, who has really earned the trust of his coaches. They're giving him much more playing time, more responsibility this season, this conference in particular.
And he's a spark plug. Off the bench, he can deliver the goods. He brings a lot of energy.
Ito
And
yung
right now,
mga,
that's what Converge needs.
ito yung mga biglang bunot ni LA Tenorio. Rafi Verano, who has not played the entire game, suddenly sees some action right now. And usually Rafi's inside, you know, he does a little this, a little that, and doesn't really hurt the team. So let's see what he can contribute sa araw na ito.
And he's also a deadly 3-point shooter. Concepcion is back on the floor.
Policarpo trying to guard Chapman. Chapman will make his move, go baseline, put it up, and miss. Similar shot to the one of Rome earlier. Ganun na ganun. Let's see if Converge can string baskets together. Stockton. Alfaro's guarding him. Policarpo's asking him to come go get it. Instead, Policarpo hands it off to Archie. That's a 3! So that's 2 3-point plays in a row. 2 and 1, and then a 3-point shot. So cuts the lead down to 14. Archie is called for that foul.
I think it's just an
Oh,
out of
just a
bounds.
just a timeout. You're right.
But they tried to trap Paul Lee into a turnover.
Alfaro had to pick up his dribble. They go to Verano. Down to Chapman again. Chapman in the paint. Hook shot coming. No. Goes to Verano. He's thinking about it. Instead, retreats to Paul Lee. Paul Lee back to Chapman. He'll take a 4. Almost got it. Yeah. Almost got it. If he doesn't take that off it, might be his first attempt. The third. Look at that. Archie Court. Wow.
Garcia and Concepcion.
Archie Con over, turn around from that baseline, and that lead is down to 12 all of a sudden. Lumangat na ng todo yan.
You know, that's the latest version of the Kamikaze twins. Garcia and Concepcion doing a damage here for Converge.
Tigil nagdadasal para makuha po yung pangalawang panalo. At least po yung yung stats namin hindi na po nalalayo for the last 4 games. Halos nandoon na po yung unti-unti yung chemistry po ng mga bata na nabibuilt na po.
Well, you see, after that last victory, that there's relief on the part of Delta because they had lost 5 straight. But today it's a different story. They're training, they're playing catch-up, and they have been for most of this game with only 4 minutes, little less than 4 minutes remaining sa ating third quarter.
Well, Coach Delta was saying that over the last 4 games, nakikita niya yung chemistry, no? And sure enough, when they lost to San Miguel, that was only by 4. They lost to Ginebra, that was just by 6. And then they lost to Reina Shang by 9. And then they came back to win.
Pick the pocket. Ball's on the floor. White shirts get it. So a stop coming off a timeout. And Tenorio not happy at all sa nangyari doon. Archie's got the hot hand. They would have stopped and he'll take a 3. That's too strong. Abueva trying to rebound. Unahan sila ni Verano. That's touchy Rafi. But he kept it away at least from Calvin Abueva, who's focused in this ball game. You know, hasn't scored too much, but in his short time in the first half, he was going after everything. Former team kasi ang Magnolia, so it always happens that way. When you play against a former team, he was there for 5 seasons. Justin Baltazar.
And the pass coming from Abueva. So unti-unti, bumababa na itong kalamangan ng Magnolia. It's down to 10.
Akala mo breakaway na itong Magnolia, pero ngayon,
Biggest margin was 19.
That's right. They go to Chap and Abueva.
Hacked it.
Yeah, he's pretty much wrestling with him.
Yeah,
And
he made
Chapman
sure.
will just walk away.
He just made sure that there would not be an opportunity for Chapman to go up for the shot. 11-2 run by Converge. And that's anchored on Garcia at si Concepcion. And now with the re-entry of Abueva.
Oh, muntik na naman magawan. Policarpio doing well. They go to Chapman, 4 to shoot. Somebody's got to take it. Alfaro will. And he hits it another time. It happened again.
That's the 4th buzzer-beating shot by Magnolia in the clutch.
And Alfaro's annoyed because he felt that he swiped cleanly on that play. Had to take it. Watch the clock. It's down to 0 as that ball enters on the 24-second. Lead back up to a baker's dozen. Nani Abueva. Cross-court siya all the way to Stockton. Screen from Balti. Bumitaw sa screen. Eto na si Stockton. 1-on-1 Alfaro. Puts it up. Gets it to go! Chance for the 3-point lead. Baka mabawi yung trip ni Alfaro.
Stockton with a miracle shot. Panuunin ulit natin. Crossover, and then the pump fake, and then the Hail Mary shot.
Binali pa pakana.
Oh.
Sabay. Oh.
Stockton, and he will make the free throw. He's an 83.3% free throw shooter.
Tapos pressure sa backcourt, which is what they do after makes. Paul Lee will forward pass to Verano. That's the right thing to do. Alfaro goes to Sangalang against his former teammate in San Sebastian. He shoves Abueva out of the way, misses. Chapman trying to keep it alive, goes up, wala ng bolang hawak. Chapman is livid, but he's not there on defense. Pass to the corner, Policarpio drives, bagsak si Abueva. They're gonna call a foul on. Oh, and Abueva's going after who? Who's he going after?
Maybe Alfaro?
Alfaro just looks at him and says, what's your problem?
Policarpio going over to Abueva saying, let's keep calm.
Hindi naman magpapasindak ito si Peter Alfaro, but watch him and Abueva. Abueva falls.
That's a foul on Alfaro. That's clear. That was not just 1 hit, that was 2 hits. Bumagsak si Abueva.
Abueva's been trying to bully the Magnolia guards. So
He
Alfaro
certainly
kanina
is.
si Lastimosa. Diba? We saw that in the first half, but well, you know.
Well, think about it, Charlie. Itong rally ng Converge, it's being instigated with Kelly sitting on the bench.
Right.
Wala yung import nila sa loob.
And that's the talent that Converge has on its team.
Oo.
And that's why everybody's wondering why their record was 1-5 and then now it's 2-5.
Well, you know, if they have plans of changing their imports, and I don't want to preempt anyone, I think maybe they should have changed the import a lot earlier.
Foul on number 17.
You're not the only one with those sentiments.
That's his 5th foul, 5 on Magnolia.
So Alfaro foul, 5th foul, just a regular one.
So penalty situation now on Magnolia.
So
we
free
did
throws.
say that. Yeah, we did say that it was
The side
Alfaro.
court muna. Ngayon,
Yeah, side
penalty
court.
na.
Ngayon na. Ngayon lang.
So everybody stays in the game. Walang substitutions yan. Chance to bring it to single digits if Converge can score.
May momentum dito ang Converge.
Correct.
Let's see whether they can capitalize. Here's a
Balti.
three-pointer.
Bitin. Rebound. Nakuha na ng blue shirts. Paulie.
That would have been big.
Policarpio has been giving Paulie a hard time. No? Kasi mahaba ang reach ni Policarpio. Natatabig yung bola. Verano against Balti. There's a height advantage for Balti in that matchup.
Kelly's asking for it. He's at the low post. There's a double team.
Chapman goes up, kicks it. That's a three if it goes. It does!
Oh, that's
Peter Alfaro, and that's the way he replies.
That's 2 3-pointers now for Alfaro. I checked myself. I mentioned it was Kelly who was posting up. It was Chapman.
Balik sa 13 ang lamang. So Magnolia's been able to answer yung mga runs ng Converge. Concepcion, hot hand, we were saying. There we go!
What a shot!
Mainit pa rin. He's got 8 points here in the quarter alone. 11 in total.
Here's a steal.
Almost. Paulie will flip it up to Verano.
Oh, yes.
And he will get his first 2. Pass to Paulie at the corner. His 3 will not drop.
12-point lead here enjoyed by Magnolia. Have they quelled the uprising?
Chapman will try to bring that ball. Picks it up, goes to Ian. Labas muna kay Paulie. Marami pang oras sa shot clock. Paulie bouncing to Sangalang. Nasipa na naman yung bola. Pero mukhang may iba pang injury na nangyari dyan. Paulie
Bumagsak
fell on
na
his
naman.
wrist. Yeah, he fell on his wrist.
Yes. He's holding on to his
Tinukod niya
wrist.
yung arm niya. Review na naman ang mangyayari rito. There's been a lot of reviewing being done. And Abueva is arguing his case.
Well, the action has been wild here.
And
Sangalang.
Sangalang
Pushing
gets
him away.
Get out of here, boy. Paulie's been down on the floor a couple of times in this game. Kanina nasipa siya sa may groin area.
Charlie,
Ngayon naman,
yeah.
napatid yata. Ano ba nangyari? Ball on the floor. Oh, so it wasn't on the floor that it was with Abueva. I don't know what happened. Watch it.
Pakita natin kung ano nangyari
I
dito.
thought he caught himself with his...
Yun, there was a contact.
Foul on number 8, Calvin Abueva.
Abueva with
His
a foul.
4th foul on the first team.
Yeah, he smacked him on the wrist.
Meron ba yung nangyari doon? Yan.
Ito, he tried to get the steal. He tried to get the hand of the ball. Instead, he got the wrist of Paulie.
Paulie hanging onto his right wrist. You're right. Sa unang akala ko, nahulog si Paulie tapos tinukod niya ng yung arm niya. But it wasn't the case, actually.
And the action has been so wild.
And Abueva's
Ang bilis ng laro eh.
Abueva's been talking to that Magnolia bench as he was doing to the Titan bench
Yes.
in that last game. So, I don't know what he wants to tell his former teams, but I don't think it's too nice, whatever he's saying.
Now, Kuhn is back in the game.
Yeah, they go to Kuhn. He played well in this stint in the first half. Napunta kay Paulie. Free to shoot. Kailangan may tumira. Verano. I thought it was going to happen again. Look at Paulie getting to the loose ball. Back outside to Verano driving. Verano tried to drop it. Sangalang had the right idea but threw it away. Policarpio will drive. Hits the side of
That's
the
a
ball.
wild shot.
Abueva kept it alive. Inside to Balti who can't control it. Going to Paulie. Labas kay Stockton. Sabi ni Stockton sa leg. 5 seconds to go.
They've got to put up a shot. Ito na.
Ayun, nagbunga naman lahat yun para sa Converge. Sa gulo ng pangyayari, sabi ni Stockton, kalma lang kayo, akong bahala. So Alec bailed them out on that play, Dean.
Well, that was a big shot coming from Stockton. We need this breather before we start the fourth.
Ikaw ba, alam mo ang tap-tap send at gumagamit ka ba ng tap-tap send?
Yes, tap-tap send ang ginagamit ko kapag nagpapadala ka sa Pilipinas. Kakapadala ko lang na.
in that department. Zave Lucero with a three, bunch of other guys hitting threes as well. And that mid-range is working for Chapman and some other players. Then a scoring run for Converge. 9-0 in that third quarter, which cut a 19-point lead down to 10, even went lower. But then, may pangsagot itong Magnolia almost every time. So we start the fourth quarter, 10-point lead for Magnolia, 74-64, and it's Magnolia ball. Kuhn, Lucero, swing to Lastimosa, 6 to shoot. Preventing the screen was Baltazar, so Lastimosa will have to create. Jumper up, top of the key, in and out. Rebound, Abueva.
It will be Magnolia ball.
Oh, so nakita ni Bing Oliva that na-bounce.
He was out of bounds. He was out of bounds. By the way, si Chapman, nakaupo. Kelly, nasa loob. Kelly so far in this game has scored 7 points.
Tayo yung scoring natin sa third quarter. It was 25-all. That's why 10-point lead pa rin ang Magnolia. Paul Lee, that's a wild shot. Ito na si Abueva, lead pass kay Stockton. Nakuha naman ni Alex, sabay talon. Bitin! Yeah, maling anggulo. And then they're gonna mob.
They'll call the foul on Stockton.
Yeah. And Stockton knew it. He bailed that shot. We've seen that ilang beses na natin nakita yung parang masyadong sinisigurado ng mga players yung tira na nangyayari, bitin.
You could have just used the glass.
That's right.
A shot like that, na mahirap na angle. Ang ganda pa naman ng pass sa kanya on the outlet. But still a 10-point lead. Here's a steal.
Stockton to Balti, kick to the corner. Behind hand, Archie!
Hindi pumasok.
And then Baroka gets the rebound.
Balti actually had a shot inside.
Yeah.
They should have probably just gone to a safer, higher percentage shot.
Three from Baroka.
Oh, yes. Boy.
Baroka knocks it in.
When you need a shot, you go to the veteran.
Now it's Kyler Kelly who's in. Chapman is rested.
Tama.
And then let's see if they'll finally try to go to Kyler Kelly for some offensive plays other than just alley-oops.
Only 7 points by Kelly so far.
Abueva.
Abueva just threw it up.
Sinave ni Sangala pero napunta kay Baltazar. Who misses?
Hindi pa pumasok.
Abueva keeping it alive yet again. Stockton. Didn't rush it.
You notice they're not passing to Kelly. He's just not an offensive option.
And wala na naman nangyari sa offense ng Converge.
Hindi na napapasahan si Kelly. Well, Kelly's not making himself available. Ayaw niyang kumuha ng bola sa opensa. That's not his game.
Baroka now. Goes to Sangala. That tandem's been at it for more than a decade.
That's a post-up mismatch.
Lucero. That's a travel. Excite masyado sa atake. Turnover yan. 13 lamang ng Magnolia. 9:51 to go in this ball game. There's LA Tenorio on your screens.
Mikey Williams checking in for Stockton.
Yung mga huli sa balita dyan, ang head coach na si LA Tenorio sa PBA. Hindi na player ng Ginebra yan. Mikey Williams is now back.
Although he can be activated or reactivated, he's not in uniform, however.
You know, we haven't seen much from Mikey. We haven't seen much from Juan Gomez Deliano. These are guys who can be, big-time scorers in this league. And they're great. They only have 64 points on the board, Dean.
Pinapalit-palitan ni Coach Delta, si Stockton at saka si Williams.
That's a miss. Sorry, miss for Concepcion. Looked like a sure shot. He used the angle correctly. And then a technical. Napuno na si referee Romel Gruta. Because the Converge guys have been chirping all night. Particularly this fella, our friend, Calvin Abueva. And finally, Romel Gruta says, tama ka na. I'm gonna tee you up. And I think, somebody's got to pull Calvin away. Because you don't want him ejected from this game. Sa bagay, may bagong rule. Hindi naman automatic ejection yung double technical.
That's right.
Diba? Meron pa extra.
Tatlo yun.
So Baroka, technical free throw. And he swishes that one, nothing but net. Barocos has really been
and very quiet in this game, except he made that big three-pointer kanina lamang.
Well, you know, Baroka is the type of player who does whatever is needed para sa kanyang koponan. If scoring isn't on the agenda, he does other things. Oh, wow! Oh, wow! Wow! That was, I don't know. I'll let everybody review that, but
both players are down.
I don't know, man. I saw that happening from where we're sitting here. But I'll let the referees review that. But that was the foul. Someone grabbed the arm of Lucero. Hinatak na siya. Yun na yung pito eh. Pero sa kanyang bagangat, chinek siya eh. And Abueva, I think, also got damaged. Watch this. Grabbed by... And then watch this. Boom! Elbow to the face. Elbow to the face.
Both players are down. Both players, heavy contact, heavy body contact.
Oh, elbow to the face, and I don't know.
That's a smash. Watch it here from a different angle. Abueva coming in.
Kabit. Kabit na kabit yun. And so that's why Zabe is still down. He took one to the head.
Well, both players are being attended
and
to.
I also want to look at it again because I want to see how Abueva's holding on to his rib cage. And I don't know how that happened. I wanted to see it because I was looking upstairs.
Ako, heavy contact by both players, but had to be a foul there. First on Arana, and then Arana actually held on to Lucero as he was going up. And then there was that elbow coming from Abueva. Could be a second motion foul on Abueva.
I think the audience inside has made a decision on what they saw, but let's wait for the referees because they're the ones that count.
I think the primary contact was by Arana, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, yung unang hatak na
because he held the arm of Lucero as he was going up for a shot. E tapos yung elbow ni Abueva, second motion yun. Let's see what the judgment is. Abueva's already being led away.
Foul on Justin Arana.
Calvin's out.
Flagrant foul, penalty 1 on Calvin Abueva. Calvin Abueva has to sit on the bench for 5 minutes.
5 minutes kasi may 3 minutes na kanina si Alex Stockton. So he's not out of the game, but he is for 5 minutes.
Well, we were right on one score that Arana was called for the foul because siya yung primary contact. Tapos yung
after the play
kay Abueva, actually, I called it a second motion, but because that hit was severe, and it involved an elbow, so tama din yung tawag ng referee.
It was really a collision between two players. Ang lakas ng impact. And after seeing that last replay, talagang into the side naman ni Abueva si Lucero at 6'6", 6'7". You know, that's gonna smart as well para dito kay Calvin Abueva. So 2 free throws on the flagrant and then 2 free throws for the foul. And he misses the first one. Another one coming up.
And Magnolia will get back possession after this.
Correct.
Again, just to point out, Converge has scored only 64 points in this game. And Magnolia is certainly showing its strength as a defensive team. Coach Delta already leaning back. Beside him is Coach Raiko Toroman. On one side.
Naman yung lamang. At pagkakataon, lumaki pa lalo rito dahil, you know, potentially they could have a 7-point play or an 8-point play. They hit a 4, get fouled. But then Zabe goes up, he's denied. He gets it right back. He'll kick it out. Chapman a 3.
Oh, yes.
See, that's a 6-point play. 6-point play. 3 free throws and then a 3-pointer. And that lead is at 20. That's the biggest lead of the game.
Doon mo maaasahan si Chapman. And what about that block shot?
I think isang volleyball spike na si Kelly at si Chapman sa game na to.
On both ends in the floor. Katitira lang
this guy
tres.
is enjoying, you know?
Yeah, katitira lang ng tres. Tapos siya pa nakakuha ng block shot on the other end.
Ball still alive though para sa Converge. They've got 15 to shoot. Eileen, anong kwento mo?
Charlie and Dean being number 2 in fast break points in the lead. Ang utos ni consultant Raiko Toroman in the latest huddle is run and go on a fast break. Hindi daw po pwede na they are usually averaging 17 points in fast break, but so far they only have 9 at the end of the third. This is why moving forward, the ask is to continuously attack and go for rebounds in an attempt to get stops. Lastly, just an update on the Magnolia side. Inupulang ng panandalian si Rome De La Rosa because of cramps on his left leg. They stretched and worked on him with a massage gun. At babalik siya sa laro when he's ready or kung kinakailangan na siya. Balik sa inyo.
Thanks a lot. 8:28 remaining in this fourth period. And, well, 17-point lead for Magnolia. Let's see what Converge can still come up with. Well, Mikey Williams, we know his potential. In the last 2 games, he's averaging 16 points, 5 rebounds, and 9 assists. Although in the Titan Ultra game, 8 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, but he's capable of so much more. And I don't know, he hasn't had the opportunities. 1 of 8 today, only 2 points. He's got the potential to put up numbers and help his team come back from deficits. We've seen him do it with TNT dati, di ba? Down sila ng malaki, pero pag Mikey barrage ng 3-pointers, humahabol sila agad.
Mikey Williams is certainly capable of doing that. Here's Juan Gomez de Leaño. Looks like playing small ngayon on Converge because I want to speed up the game.
Tagal din nakalaro ni Juan Gomez de Leaño. He sat out out of that third and into the fourth quarter.
So they're going with Juan Gomez de Leaño, and there's RG Concepcion and Mikey Williams. So those are 3 guards on the floor for Converge. They want to pick up the pace. They're down 17. Would be 15. Now it's 16 with their free throws coming up. Another free throw coming up for Juan Gomez de Leaño. Arana and Kelly are the frontliners for Converge in this lineup on the floor. Wala muna si Baltasar. Hindi pa pumasok yung tira.
Free throw rattles out. Kuhn. Now Laftimosa will clear. Nagmamadali. Sabay atras.
And that 3-guard combination that Converge has is supposed to be to play tough backcourt pressure defense.
Baroka. Mid-range is a miss. Rebound. Chapman fighting for it, but then Arana comes down with it. Mikey now handling on the right side. He'll get into the paint, kick to Juan. Juan from 3.
That's straight and
That's
true.
a 4. That's a 4. His first of the game. We've seen him do it again and again.
That's a 12-point lead now.
Double digits para kay Juan GDL. 12 na lang ang lamang. Remember, that went up to 20 already. So Converge is still fighting, as they should. Pass goes to Laftimosa. You have to take it. Wala na. 24-second violation.
Well, he was caught in a mismatch. Kalaban niya doon, mas malaki sa kanya. Si Arana.
Look
So
of
he was
concern.
smothered.
Yeah, look of concern on the face of LA Tenorio. And of course, yung kanilang utility man is si Maning, who always asks his players, the players on Magnolia to get into the defensive stance. 8-0 run. As we mentioned, 20 down to 12 all of a sudden. Could be even less. Inasok na yung mga big guns. Baka biglang gumana sila. Juan and Mikey. And Arana.
And that would be the 4th personal foul on Chapman.
Oh, that's his 5th.
That's his 5th.
That's his
I
5th.
checked myself. Panlima na pala yan ni Chapman.
Yeah, and Arana, I guess, knew it. Went straight into the chest. Kasi nabanggit rin ni Aileen kanina. So, They want to attack Chapman because of his foul trouble, and now he's really in dire trouble. One more and he's out.
That was part of the game plan na pinag-usapan natin. Here we go again.
Rumits in pa.
But he missed.
Bilib ako kay Chapman, rumits in pa dun. Imagine kung natamaan niya sa braso yun, goodbye. Marami pang oras to din, 6:53. That's just a 12-point lead.
Especially if somehow Converge manages to get Chapman out of this game.
Yeah, in a couple of minutes, Abueva can come back in.
Kelly asking for the pass.
Just to get the inbound.
Oh.
Stockton 3.
Oh, that's a big one.
At the buzzer too. So, they're telling Magnolia, if you can do that, we can do that as well. Naibaba na sa single digit muli. Ang lamang, 9 na lang yan from a high of 20. And Converge is plugging away, chipping away at the lead. Stockton, a big boost. Ito ang ating standings. Yung Converge really fighting to stay out of that bottom 5. They're at 2 and 5. Not in a good position. Chance to be eliminated with a couple of more losses. Magnolia naman looking to get into that middle of the pack. May 4 and 4 na ang San Miguel. Gusto nilang mag-keep pace dyan. Ito yung ating format. Alalahanin natin dahil 13 ang teams natin sa guest team. 5 ang matatanggal dito.
That's right. And the top 8 will go to the quarterfinals with the first 4 gaining a twice-a-beat advantage. And then we go to the semifinals, best of 7, and the finals, best of 7. We saw the team standings. We want to be able to reiterate, while ang Magnolia with a 3-4 record, very deceptive yan because their average losing margin, just 4.3 points a game. Also want to point out that Magnolia before this game, last place sila in rebounding. And their average is only 43, but guess what? Now with 6:44 to go, Magnolia already with 43 rebounds, matching its average for a 48-minute game. Laking adjustment ginawa dito ni Coach L.A. Tenorio, not only in strengthening the rebounding, but also getting production from the bench.
The 4 is a miss. Baroka taps it over to Rome. Paul Lee rejoins the action. Chapman mag-i-screen dito. Baroka. Now with Rome, he goes behind his back, drives up. Oh, gets it to go! Just powered it up. Sa Toto, Pectus off the board. 3-point play opportunity para kay Rome.
And what a drive by De La Rosa. That'll be 8 points para sa kanya. He's solid in this game. Watch it here. Ito yung pass galing kay Baroka. And then, behind the back pass. Kahirap yung ginawa niya, ha?
Kyler was asking where was the foul. I didn't see any upstairs, so baka nabangga niya sa may hip area. 3-point play opportunity for Rome De La Rosa. And he puts that one in. They're able to answer with a 3-point play, Magnolia.
9 points for De La Rosa. Juan Gomez Aliano being hounded by Baroka, and there's the blitz. Forced to release.
Oh, Mikey almost traveled, but then...
he was off rhythm.
Yeah, brought it closer, but nandun yung depensa kasi.
12-point lead by Magnolia.
Under 6 minutes to
Here
go.
we go, Chapman. Cleared for takeoff. That runway was wide open for Chapman.
That's right. Spun away from the defense, found the lane open. That's a foul on Baroka. Watch this. Wala, hindi mo na nakatingin si Arana. And it's good that Arana didn't challenge anymore. Kundi, baka na 3-point play din yun. Tutuwa talaga yung mga fans natin sa mga malalaking imports that we have this conference. Stockton 3. No go. Arana offensive board. They surround him. They tap it away, but he keeps it alive. Gomez Deliano with 8 to shoot. He's going to take it over his fellow UP Maroon. And he puts the 4.
That's another big one. Apat na naman yun for Juan Gomez Deliano.
Suddenly down to 10. Lamang. That's so quick, you know, when you hit those 4s. Paul Lee looking for Chapman.
Oh,
He's got a small defender, yeah.
What a mismatch. They don't double him, but they give up the foul.
It's going to be a swipe from Juan.
You know, those switches and those mismatches, ginagawa yun eh. Take a look at this 4-point shot coming up. Look at that step back coming from Juan Gomez Deliano.
Bilis nung release eh, no? Pag step back niya, talagang bumibitaw na. Watch this. Boom, and then it's there before Zave can even react. He hits the 4, cuts the lead down to 10. May regalo kami. Ang PBA may regalo sa inyo sa Mayo 1. Libre ticket para sa lahat ng manggagawang Pilipino. And go there to the venue on May 1. Get some free tickets. These are the games on May 1. It's going to be TNT and Phoenix, Ginebra, Meralco. Chapman's at the line. Free throw para sa kanya. Free throws rather. Ilan na puntos ito si Chapman? He's got 17. 17 lang. Kasi 30 points nga ang kanyang average, but it's okay because he's doing it within the system. Gets them both.
And just looking at his resume, you know why he's a magnet for teams in terms of getting him as an import. He played 3 years in Germany, 4 years in Japan, 2 years in Lebanon. So he's very much in demand.
Nice up fake.
Getaway.
Yep. Napalipad niya si Chapman.
It's a 10-point lead.
With 4:33 to go, Baroka. He's trapped, goes forward to Lucero. They get it across.
Need some stops. They need some turnovers against Magnolia.
Oh, they left Lee really open there. Lucero's open
That's a
too.
3. That's a 3.
It rolls off. Volleyball ang laro. Who gets it? Oh, Rome De La Rosa again! Wow! Rome De La Rosa, the hustler on that team.
He's been the surprise. 11 points para sa kanya.
Oh, look at that shot.
Binabi naman agad ni Juan Gomez Deliano.
That's a lot of talent.
Yeah, but Converge is doing the right thing. Quick offense because time is not on their side.
Wala na, under 4 minutes na lang eh.
Kailangan nilang pumuntos kaagad. But it's not helping that they're giving up points to Magnolia. They need turnovers and stops.
Chapman 3, no go. Mikey
That's a stop.
gets to it. Arana's running. So is Baltazar. Mikey looking for the 3, goes down to Arana instead. Chapman trying to hold his ground. He's 1 foul away from being eliminated from this game. And that's a miss on the turnaround. They'll take it. Magnolia will.
And Chapman did a good job of not fouling Arana. Arana was baiting him.
There's Chapman again, rolling.
He will score. No problem.
Yeah, he knows those angles off the glass. Alam na alam niya. Balik sa 12 lamang. That's a foul on Paul Lee. That's the 4th team foul of Magnolia. They're still out of the penalty with 3:10 to go.
And Ian Sangalang is checking in. I think he'll be checking in for Chapman. Another yeoman's job here for Clint Chapman.
He's earning his keep on that Magnolia team. after coming in as a replacement. Juan lost it. Napunta kay Stockton. 10 to shoot. Stockton wants a 3. He'll step back and hit it.
Big one. And the lead is 9.
That's 16 on for Stockton. That pressure continues, but those lead passes are there. He'll go to Zabe. He'll fake. He'll go up and get fouled by Arana. And Arana will rush to try to pick him up. And Zabe just stuntmans himself to a standing position, tumambling.
And Zabe Lucero has been very consistent all throughout this game. Lucero scored in every single quarter of this contest. Double-double para sa kanya so far.
But he muffs another free throw. That's his second or third. That's his third missed free throw in this game.
And considering that Lucero before this game was shooting 92.6% from the line, but he makes the second. 17 points and 14 rebounds.
Doing work on the boards, huh?
Big production for Xavier Lucero. Here we go
Chapman
again.
rebounds. Oh, that's too much spin and it misses. But Juan will head to the line. Yung rebounds naman ni Chapman ilan? 14 si Lucero. Si Chapman 12. So 26 combined.
And Chapman is
Two big
coming
guys.
off that 34-point performance in that win over San Miguel.
And I knew it was going to be a short rest for Chapman. Hindi naman siguro siya bubunutin the rest of the way. Panigurado na, papasok na ulit si Clint Chapman.
With 5 personal fouls, he's been able to move away from disqualification by playing smart. Sabi nga kanina, no? This is his 14th year as an import. And his experience has carried him over. He's 37 years old. That's the same age as Justin Brownlee. Sabi niya, age is just a number.
Yeah. Kabat siya si Paul Lee, the 37-year-olds on that team. Pero yun na nga, kuya nila dyan si Baroka. Si Baroka ang kuya sa team.
Tama. You know, one thing about Chapman is that he's a late bloomer. When he played those years for the University of Texas, he never averaged in double figures. First year, 1.3 points, and then 2 points, 1.9 points, and then 7.4 points. But as an import, he has really blossomed.
You know, if you're playing Division I and you're averaging double digits, you might be in the NBA, in G League. You know?
But his career high is 44 points. That was when he scored it in Japan in 2017.
So, syempre, milk ng clock itong Magnolia. Try to waste as much time as they can. 8-point lead lamang yan. But of course, they need to score as well. They can't stop playing. Baroka on the drive. Gets under the defense. Lumusot doon sa dalawang player. Mark Baroka. He's got 6. Quiet night scoring, but that was a big shot. Juan, 3!
Another one.
That's down to just 7 with still 2 minutes to go. We're entering the twilight zone. Backcourt pressure on Baroka. Passes over to Chap, who passes it to Paul Lee. Actually, it was heading to me. And then Paul Lee went in to get it. Tipped away. Juan is going to get called for a foul, and he's protesting. He wanted to challenge that call, but then he just held himself back.
Well, they have a challenge if they want to.
Yeah, they do.
1:45 to go, pero hindi rin siya challenge ito.
Eh, itong si Juan, sa laki ng katawan, pag binangga ka rin yan, tatalsik ka rin. That's what happened to Paul Lee.
But grabe yung ginagawa dito ni Teleano.
21 na, no?
points.
22.
22 points. And he didn't even score in the third quarter. He had 6 points at the half. And
Halos
now
di
with
naglaro sa
22.
third yan.
Oh, 16 points here in this quarter. Juan Gomez de Leano.
He
Paul
played.
Lee?
He only played 3 minutes in that third quarter.
Oo nga eh. Well, si Coach Delta was looking at different combinations. And the Magnolia fans are lapping it up.
Si Mrs. Lee yun, yung nasa
Oo,
gitna.
tama.
Kasama ng mga anak nila. 9-point lead, 4 minutes and 45 to go. talk about this guy. You know, you were mentioning him, Dean, right before we took that timeout. Juan Gomez de Liaño has gone on a scoring run here in the fourth.
Well, he's put Converge on his back. Kita natin yung ginagawa niya rito. Tumitira sa labas, tumitira sa loob, namamasa. And he's providing a lot of firepower for Converge.
Well, he's really polished himself to coming out of UP, played abroad, and finally joined the PBA last conference and started his career here with a triple-double.
And patapos na laro natin, Kelly's not even on the floor for Converge.
Juan can't take it. Good defense that they put on him. Arana.
And he will not score.
And Rome De La Rosa comes down with it, a minute and 28 to go. Magnolia looks on its way, but you can never tell. Let's see. Baroka. Steady pa rin si Baroka. Goes over to Chapman.
And he will score. Easy on the pass coming from Baroka.
He knows what to do.
Yeah, and they're still executing. Kita natin. Patapos sa yung laro. And
oh, that was right there.
But he missed the shot, but tracking it down was Baltasar.
Balti has shown a lot of speed in chasing down loose balls in this game. That's a 4 from Mikey. Ayaw pa rin. And Chapman rises high para makuha niya yan. And then some of the fans are getting up and heading for the exits because Magnolia looks like it's going to be a done deal here. Reverse from Rome. And Rome has played a splendid ball game as well.
Got 13 points. Rome De La Rosa getting the pass from Zabe Lucero.
Foul on Magnolia. It's going to be free throws for Converge. With just 37.9. Magnolia has found its footing. Remember, there were 0-3 to start the conference. This is going to be the 4th straight win. Alex Stockton, who got an F1 earlier and had to sit out for 3 minutes, but has scored well here in the second half. Misses the second free throw. That's a 12-point lead. Chapman now will bring it back. Head to Baroka. Baroka will fade.
And he will score.
And that's vintage Mark Baroka.
Yan ang tinatawag natin ng icing on the cake. But you know, for Coach L.A. Tenorio, he's got to be happy with the way Magnolia played this game. Oh, what a nice.
That's a highlight.
That's a highlight play coming from Stockton.
And I think Paul's just going to dribble this off already. 106.94 will be our last score. Kasi sasabihin ni Coach L.A. wag ka nang tumira.
And Magnolia, yung sinasabi natin about his objective, holding Converge to less than 100, nagawa nila yun. 94 points here for Converge. Got the job done defensively. And then Coach L.A. Tenorio has to be happy with the production of his bench. At saka yung nilang perimeter scoring.
Hugs and kisses all around as we see the two teams meeting at half court. So after all that physicality, banggaan, and all of that, you know, ganun talaga ang laro. Pag natapos na, okay na. Si Zabe ang ating best player of the game.
Double-double para sa kanya. Makikita natin his line score, 17 points and 14 rebounds. 8 of 11 from the free throw line.
Played some great defense as well.
Yeah. He did it all here for Magnolia. Actually, honorable mention si Ron De La Rosa with 13 points. Of course, Chapman, he also delivered a lot of points. Also a double-double for him. But we want to give it to Lucero because of the impact that he had all game long. Remember, Chapman had to sit out a lot of minutes because of early foul trouble.
Yeah.
And the guy who held the fort while he was sitting on the bench was this guy, Xavier Lucero.
That's right. Rom De La Rosa, of course, is a special mention. Sa ganda ng kanyang hustle game. Titan versus the Macau Black Knights. Still looking for the win. That's the first game on Tuesday at the Ninoy Aquino Stadium. And unbeaten Rainer Shine wants to keep it going against Phoenix in the second game. So that does it for us here at Inares Center. Magnolia prevails over Converge. For the Dean Quinito Henson, for Eileen Shi, and the rest of our crew. Charlie Cuna saying goodbye. But hey, ang dami pang basketball sa Commissioner's Cup. Abangan nyo lang dito sa RPTV.
Congratulations. Before this game, Coach LA was emphasizing offensive rebounds. How much of that instruction was playing in your head throughout the game, considering the size that Converge boasts of?
I think all of our games we've been behind in that category. So tonight, this being a game of good magnitude that we needed to step up on our rebounding. And so I think we did a good job of just making sure we were boxing out and everybody was helping out. So.
You're also the top local scorer of Magnolia so far this conference. What has been working for you that you'd like to sustain?
I think, we have a lot of good pieces. And so it's pretty easy for me to kind of weave in and out and kind of take my opportunities because so much attention is on our import and our other guys. So it's really a testament to our team as a whole.
We see a lot of fans waving, waiting for you. What does their support mean to you, Xavier?
No, we thank you so much for the support, guys. Hopefully you keep coming out and keep supporting us. So thank you so much. We love all of you guys. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Zabe. Let's now hear it from Coach LA.
Congratulations, Coach LA. You established an early lead that you held on to until the end. What was the key to sustaining that, and what else would you like to build on as you try to push your winning streak in your next game?
It's really, I always emphasize playing defense. So going into this game, I really challenged our players, my team, to really concentrate on getting stops and be solid on the half-court defense. Because we know that Converge can really score easily because of the talent that they have. So, challenge ko lang yung mga players ko to really to play defense, and basically I challenged them and I told them that this game is basically a playoff game for us. It's either them or us. Yun lang yun diba? It's either them or us kasi because of our team standing. So dikit-dikit kasi masyado. So every game really counts on this conference, in this conference right now. So, I really commend them again. I want to give credit to all my players that they really lock in defensively. Although we scored 106, but what I really like was our defense from start to finish. Yun yung in-emphasize ko talaga. So hopefully we can see this game as a blueprint moving forward, especially playing a lot of big teams and teams that are above us. So hopefully this can be our momentum going to that stretch.
Magnolia and Converge going at it sa Inares Center Antipolo. Yan ang setting, ready na. Yung dalawang koponan na mag-start ng winning streak. And we see in that first quarter, Justin Arana starting out, hitting that first basket of the game inside that painted area.
Right at the start, nakita natin yung laban dito is offense versus defense. Yung depensa ng Magnolia at yung depensa ng Converge and Chapman scoring that time. Si Archie Concepcion was on fire right from the start, coming off the bench. At tapos naman, si Chris Kuhn, ito makikita natin, to beat the buzzer. That's a 4-pointer. Yun!
And at the end of one, Magnolia grabbed that lead by 17 because of that shot from Chris Kuhn. By 7 rather. And then pagpasok ng second quarter, Kyler Kelly moving to the basket, finding an opening underneath and jamming it home.
Wide open para kay Kelly, going down the baseline, but only finishing with 7 points. Bihirang-bihirang tumira si Kelly. Si Stockton naman, 3 yan. Galing sa kanto. Pero si Sanggalang, masasagot din with his own version of a 3-pointer. Ito.
Na-practice yata ni Ian yung mga ganyang klase tira. Then Jerome Lastimosa had a lot of shots under pressure. Watch this, shot clock about to end. Puts it in under the basket.
One clutch basket after the other. But mahirap na tira yun ang ginawa ni Lastimosa. Third quarter now.
Alex Stockton. Zane Lucero rather. Attacking that hoop. With a two-hand jam.
Oo. Nakawala siya doon. Nobody home.
And then Alex Stockton.
Ito yung tira ni Stockton. And he will make the shot and he will go to the line.
Yeah, but coming off the bench, yung maraming players na nag-step up talaga sa panig ng Magnolia. Isa na ron, yan si Pedro Alfaro.
Alfaro hitting it from the outside and he will finish with dalawang three-pointers. Pero sasagot naman si Archie Concepcion, who's been brilliant off the bench with his energy and firepower, pati yung kanyang depensa. Yung three-pointer galing kay Concepcion.
Pero medyo natulog ang depensa ng Converge at naka-layup ng easy-easy si Rafi Verano.
Nako, wide open. And Verano, one of the bench players ng Magnolia, delivering 36 points in total. That's off the bench for Magnolia.
10-point lead entering the fourth. Napunta sila kay Chapman. Bukas na bukas! Walang depensa yung mga nakaputi. Easy dunk for Chapman.
Goodbye, 2 points. And Chapman, look at the way he elevated for that one-handed slam dunk. Ayun. Mahaba na. Magaling pa. Juan Gomez Aliano, this will be a 4. Nothing but net. Lumaban dito ang Converge sa dulo. Thanks to Juan Gomez Aliano, he had 16 of his 22 in the fourth. Ito naman si Stockton. Nakatira din ng tatlo. Stockton will finish with 19 points.
And a guy who was much of a fireman in this game is Rob De La Rosa. Whenever Converge would run with something, De La Rosa would hit a shot from outside or inside. And
you know,
that's how it goes.
Yeah, we wanted to give him perhaps a co-best player of the game award. 13 points for De La Rosa.